Welcome, everyone, to the College Gridiron Showcase roster reveal show. We are less than a week away from being down in Fort Worth, Texas for the 8th annual College Gridiron Showcase. Of course, I'm Ryan Roberts at Rise and Draft, bringing you this exclusive look into some of the players that will be showing their worth down in Fort Worth. No pun intended there. Joined by Mike Riddleman, Director of Scouting and Player Personnel for the event. Mike, we're getting started a little late, my friend, but how are we tonight? I know I'm excited to just kind of let the crowd kind of see some of the great players that we have coming down to Fort Worth.
I'm excited, man. It's getting the crunch time. It is exciting. We're less than a week out, maybe less than a week out, and I'm excited to see a star-studded lineup for CGS this year.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I am too. And so how this is kind of going to work tonight, we are, of course, here sponsored by Frog Fuel. Frog Fuel is designed to be the most powerful protein in the world, developed by former Navy SEALs and a Stanford biochemist. Frog Fuel is medical grade, nanohydrolyzed collagen, helps athletes recover faster, reduce injuries, and increase strength better than whey protein. Also digests 4 times faster than whey isolate, and is ready to drink without any mixing. Frog Fuel is proudly made in America and produced by OP2 Labs, a veteran-owned nutrition company based in Fort Worth, Texas. So how it's going to work tonight is we are going to bring on multiple players at a time. I think we have 3 in each block, and we are going to rapid fire with them. So I hope the guys are ready backstage. As we're going to bring them up, I'm going to introduce them real quick, and we're going to hit them with a few questions. We only have each of the players for about 5 minutes. We're going to do a little bit of a crowd here, but excited. We are going to start bringing the guys on for the first slots. It looks like we have Mr. Jordan Tucker coming on, offensive tackle out of North Carolina. We got Mr. Demontre Tuggle, running back out of the University of Ohio. And I believe we had one other player that was waiting to come in, but I think we're going to start with our 2 gentlemen here. Fellas, appreciate you guys for hopping on real quick before we get into our rapid fire questions. Just a few particulars about Mr. Jordan Tucker and Demontre Tuggle. Demontre, originally at Kilgore College, and he has been a very productive player for the University of Ohio over the last couple years. Over 1,800 yards in his career, 24 touchdowns, and a stellar 6.3 yards per carry. He is a part of our Wrangler group, as well as Mr. Jordan Tucker, who I'm telling you, man, if you watch North Carolina, it's Sam Howell and Michael Carter and Javonte Williams and all these over the last couple years. It's kind of hard to miss number 74 at right tackle. He has 36 career starts. So, fellas, appreciate you all for popping in. Demontre, I think we're going to start with you here, man. And I just want to let everybody know, because I've seen a lot of you play over the last couple years. If I had to ask you a couple particulars, what makes you a special running back? What would be a couple things that you think kind of set you apart?
I would say my patience, my vision, quick burst, and top end speed. Those are the things that really set me apart, I feel like.
Love it. And Mike, I'm going to come back to you in a second for a question for Demontre, but I want to go over to Jordan. Jordan, I have to admit, man, your offensive line, I have a lot of fun watching all those dudes. I'm a big fan of Joshua Azuda, I think is how you pronounce it, if I'm mistaken that one. Asim Richards. There's a lot of great players on offensive line. Talk to me about the brotherhood on that offensive line, because we're talking about multiple future NFL players, yourself included. Just tell me about that special unit that you guys had over there.
Yeah, I mean, first off, thanks for having me. Second off, yeah, it's a brotherhood, and those guys are people that are going to be with me forever. Like, especially the 2 that came out with me, Josh Zudu and Marcus McKeithen. Marcus, he's been my roommate for 5 years now, and I mean, you can see it on the field. Like, we move people, we pass off twists better than no other, I think. But yeah, it's a brotherhood it can't be beat.
That's awesome. Demontre, I have a question for you. What is the one thing that you want to show NFL and CFL teams that's kind of been like a question mark for you in your career that say, hey, like, I'm the guy. So what's that key trait you want to show off to everyone, whether it's pass blocking, whether it's catching out of the backfield? What's that key trait that you want to show everyone off to?
Actually, both of those things. I mean, I know I haven't been able to be put in much opportunities to catch out the backfield and run a lot of routes, but I'm excited to be able to go up there and show that and showcase that ability, as well as pass blocking. These are things that I've been really working on, and I'm excited to put those out on display.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love it. And I know we're going a little quick pace here. Jordan, I want to go back over to you. I want to ask, because I know, a lot of a lot is being made of obviously Sam Howell and De'Ami Brown last year and Daz Newsome. And I named a couple of the running backs that you also had a part of that unit. I want to ask you about Mac Brown, because Mac Brown is obviously one of the all-time great coaches. He's come from obviously what he did at Texas to now what he's done at North Carolina. And he has really, I think, instilled a lot of positivity and a great culture over there. Can you talk to me what it's just been like to play under Coach Brown for a couple years?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as he came in, he made a difference. He asked us players. He had us in our own little meeting without the coaches. He said, whatever y'all want, I want to get it for y'all. And him and his wife, Sally, have done an amazing job with the 3 years I've been there of just making sure the players come first. And, I mean, he's the true definition of a player's coach. His, like, my teammates love him. The staff loves him. Like, nobody walks past him without saying hello. And I think that's what you really look for in a coach. And, I mean, anything that surrounds him is positive, and that's really what it's about.
Love it. Mike, do you have anything for the guys before I let them get out of here? I know it's rapid fire. We're moving quickly.
Hey, no, Jordan, I want to know, are you excited to show off your position flexibility? I mean, I know you've played some tackle. Are you going to look to play some guard at CGS? Like, what's the one thing that you're most excited about CGS right now?
Yeah, the one thing I'm most excited about is really just getting out there and competing. Like, I'm a competitor. I don't like to lose. So really, wherever you put me, I'm going to compete my ass off. Excuse my French, but that's
you're
fine.
That's a rated R program, brother. Go for
it. That's really what football is, just competing every day. And I'm excited to see all the athletes out there and just for everybody to get some work in.
Awesome, man.
Demontre, last question for you, and we'll get you folks out of here. We really appreciate, again, rapid fire, kind of getting to know you guys as quick as possible because we're working through, I think, 60-plus players tonight. So, Demontre, is there a player, if I had to ask you, skill set-wise, you feel like you play a little bit like, or maybe you try to emulate to a degree, past, present, growing up? Like, is there a guy for you?
I mean, player now presently that I try to, model my game after, I would say, is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's similar in size, and I just really love his ability as far as he's able to, run out the backfield, run routes out the backfield, and they're able to handle the ball and watch him do his thing. Pass pros pretty well, and I feel like I can be that type of back and put in the right situation. My favorite running back obviously is Barry Sanders. So love to try to make guys miss like that, but that's what I would think.
I love it, man. Again, Demontre Tuggle, star running back out of Ohio. We got Big Jordan Tucker, right tackle out of North Carolina. Going to check them down at CGS, Fort Worth, Texas, here in less than a week. Fellas, appreciate you guys popping on, man. We got to say hello down in Fort Worth. This is a lot of fun. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, we're moving here, Mike. We're moving here. First and foremost, man, great young men. You can already see it. Great, I think, representation of what CGS brings to the table, and excited. Obviously, we got a bunch more great football players that we're about to pop on here.
I'm excited, Ryan.
Yep,
I'm excited.
Absolutely, man. Yep, we're really excited. We got kind of looking through who we got in the room. Might start popping on some guys here. We're going to bring on Jason Poe, who is a really talented player. Jason, it was actually a guy that I reached out to even before he got invited to CGS, offensive guard out of Mercer. Very talented football player. He spent some time at Lenoir-Rhyne, which, if that sounds familiar, you think of Derek Young coming out this year. Of course, they had Kyle Duggar a couple years ago. He was a fantastic player, second-round pick by the New England Patriots. Jason, appreciate you for hopping on, man. How's everything going?
Yes, sir. Everything's going great, man.
I love it, man. I love it. Jason, I want to start you off because the one game that really popped you on my radar, because I knew the name, but then I saw you had a really nice game against University of Alabama. And I'm like, okay, this guy can play with the big dogs a little bit. What was it like just your final season, just kind of in my opinion, taking your game to the next level and seeing your talents against players that Alabama is putting out there obviously every year?
Man, it was great going against those guys, number one draft picks. And it was a great opportunity coming from D2. You never get the best competition every week in and week out. So playing against Alabama was a great, opportunity, and it was good for me for my last year.
I think the biggest thing that stands out for me, Jason, is your freak athleticism. And going into that, you made Bruce Feldman's freak list this year. How did that make you feel?
Man, it felt great. All the work, is paying off. It ain't paid off yet. The job ain't
exactly,
done, but up until this point, man, it feels amazing.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You have a little bit of experience playing fullback and tight end back at Lenoir-Rhyne, correct?
That was at Hutch my freshman year.
Gotcha. Okay. So again, the athletic ability translate into the offensive line. I mean, man, the sky's the limit for you, man. And we're excited to have you at CGS.
I really appreciate you guys, man, for the opportunity, man. Can't wait.
Jason, my biggest question is, in next level, if they have a goal line situation, can you still tote the rock? That's my question.
Of course, tote it, block, whatever they need me to do.
All right, I got a question for you real quick. What are you running your 40 time in this year?
Ooh, I want to hear it.
Okay, I'm trying to do a high 4.8 at 300.
High 4.8? Okay. I'm going to hold you to it.
4.8, 4.9, yep, at 300.
I love it, man. I love it. And Jason, obviously, that really pops on film, in my opinion. I think you're a really smooth mover, obviously, kind of transition in space. Are you practicing now for the event, being able to play both guard and get some snaps at center, just trying to show versatility inside?
Yes, so I've been doing a little bit of both, and then also training for the combine and stuff. So I've been training at Pete Barbados early, so I've been trying to work on that stuff.
I love it. Love it. And last question for you. We're going to get you out of here, Jason. Appreciate a couple minutes here. What are some things that you're just looking forward to proving down in Fort Worth? What are some things that you kind of want to show to NFL scouts?
I want to show them that, I'm versatile and, it's not just on film. I wanted to show them, in person and show them that, I'm 6'1", so I want to show them that size does not matter.
Love it. I love it, man. Well, Jason, we'll see you down there in less than a week, man. Safe travels. We'll see you soon, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
I must say, Mike, as we're bringing on our next guest, I really like Jason Poe, by the way. Just want to put that one out there. He's a really athletic kid. I really do like him a ton. So moving smoothly through here, as smooth as we can, because like I said, we got a lot of guys. We're starting a couple minutes late, but we're going to get them on. We got Mr. Isaiah Robinson coming on, wide receiver out of West Liberty. And
Mr. Whippeal. Mr. Whippeal himself. Okay. Pittsburgh guy.
And we got an Indiana State wide receiver. Please correct me if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Fazion McClurge.
Faison McClurge.
Come on, Ryan. Come on, Ryan.
Faison, I usually let Mike do the mispronunciations on the show, but we're kind of moving through. I had to cut him a break tonight. We are, of course, sponsored by Frog Fuel. Mike, I don't know if you got your pack, but I just had a Frog Fuel earlier while I was doing
I haven't not, but if you can see my dog in the background actually perked up when you said Frog Fuel, so it's good.
That's fine. All right, so we got Mr. McClurge here. 3 seasons spent at Cornell before he ended his career at Indiana State. We got Mr. Isaiah Robinson, like I said. West Liberty was actually Western Kentucky's leading receiver in 2019 with over 800 yards and 9 touchdowns. Had another 600 plus and 8 touchdowns in 2021. Got a couple wide receivers on here, so I might want to just ask you stylistically, what are we working with here, fellas? Maybe I'll start with you, Isaiah. Describe yourself as a receiver. You possession guy, working outside the hashes, working with length, speed. Like, what is your style?
I'm a guy that I feel can play inside or outside. I like to work hard on my routes, focus hard on my routes. I can get open. I can be a deep threat ball, big play catch guy. Strong with it, strong hands.
I love it. You're checking all the boxes, man. That's fantastic. Faison, same question goes to you, man. What stylistically, what do you feel like kind of represents you as a receiver?
Yeah, for sure. I say the biggest thing for me is aggressive. My first 2 years at Cornell, I played DB, so I still bring that type of style, like defensive style with me. So really aggressive. Just like Isaiah said, I'm a big play threat with the deep ball and everything. And then I consider myself a speed guy too. So try to be very efficient in my route running and bring some speed along with it.
I love it, man.
Everything. I know Isaiah feels
everything. Hey, I'm just saying, man. If you're gonna put that out there, I'm gonna be watching down at Fort Worth. You better not be putting anything on the turf, then. That's all I say about it. I love it, man. I love it. Faison, I'm going to stay with you, man, because like you kind of said, you got some deep threat ability. Who are some of your guys? I asked the guy already, like, who are some guys that you like to watch? Who are some players, could be past, present, growing up? Like, who do you like to emulate to a degree?
Yeah, for me, I love, I'm a big Devontae Adams watcher. I like study his film day and night. And then I also look at Keenan Allen, just the way he gets in and out of his breaks, route efficiency, going against zone, man, whatever it is, he's always open. And those guys, I just like to watch them for real.
Love it, man. I love it. And Isaiah, what are some things that you would say? And Mike, I'm going to let you pop in with a couple questions. I know I keep hogging them, man. I'm just so pumped up, excited. I just had some frog food before we got on here.
It's your world.
Man. It is Mike Riddleman's world. Don't let anybody lie to you about that one. Isaiah, what are some things that you want to prove down in Fort Worth? And what are some things that when you leave, you want scouts to know about you, you want to come across as the week progresses?
Just the type of player I am, the type of energy I bring towards other players, the competitiveness, just my determination, and just my play in general as well. Just my name, Isaiah Robinson.
All right, and fellas, I think we're going to kind of end you guys. I know we're going rapid fire. Faison, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to go to Isaiah. Same question back to back here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
A defensive back that you would like to go against on the NFL level that you would love to test yourself against. I know there's a lot of possibilities for this answer. Who's a guy that you want to show up and show out a little bit against?
Man, I'm going straight to Jalen Ramsey, man. I love that matchup.
Of
I
course,
love his
Jalen.
enthusiasm, the way he talks crap and all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm down for that. Now that would be a great opportunity to put myself up there and show people like what I really am and how I can really dominate a football game.
All right. And Isaiah, same question to you.
I agree with bro. Jalen Ramsey. Just because of his play style as well, the aggressiveness and the attitude he brings, it shows you got to be a dog to compete.
I love it, man. I love it. So, guys, I really appreciate the time again. We're talking with Faison McClurge, wide receiver out of Indiana State, Isaiah Robinson out of West Liberty, both part of the Marshalls group this year. But I think a couple of these guys, very talented, may have that possibility to play themselves up to the level of competition during the week. Guys, appreciate you. We'll see you again in less than a week, man. Yeah. Stay safe.
Less than a week.
Be safe, man.
All right, Mike, we are rapid fire, man. I think I'm doing pretty well considering I'm the producer, I'm the host right now, man. Like I think I'm doing.
I hope to get a word in, Ryan, but it's okay.
What's the A word, man? What's the A word? What are you talking about right now? What are you
a word of communication. You know, I mean, you're just taking you're just hogging it all. It's okay.
I'm not hogging anything, man. I'm not hogging anything.
Who we got next, Ryan?
Guys? Who we got next? Why don't you introduce somebody for once instead of yelling, okay? I'm getting some guys on here, getting some guys. We had to throw some specialist love to the set, of course. We got Mr. Ben Neisner, I'm sorry, who is a punter out of Valparaiso. And we also bringing on Mike's favorite position. We got a fullback in the building. We got Cody Rudy, who's a fullback out of Ball State. Cody, I kind of did some background.
He is make the fullbacks great again.
Hey, to make it even better, he's a former linebacker when he first got to Ball State. So just put that one out there. And we got Ben, who's a two-time All PFL first team, is also the special teams player of the year last spring in the conference. Ben, you are our first specialist on the show tonight, man. How does that feel?
Feels great.
Love it, man.
Very
love
unique.
And we have our first fullback, Ryan.
And we have our first fullback, of course. So, Cody,
love,
I need to ask you, man. I'm going to start with you. I'm going to go back to Ben. Fullback is a thankless position in the game today, but you do it obviously at a high level. What was your initial thought when you made that switch? I know you were originally linebacker, made the switch to fullback at Ball State. What was kind of your original thought, and then how much have you kind of grown to love the position?
Well, you can hear me right now, Ken.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, so started out linebacker, like you said. I was a walk-on linebacker. Didn't play my redshirt for my freshman year. Following the spring ball, head coach asked me if I wanted to move to offense, play fullback, and I said, well, if that means I can get on the field and start hitting people, I'm all for it. And it kind of started from there.
I love it. And Ben, I know it's a little bit of a different type of evaluation, obviously, right? Like I'm not as worried about like what you're going to run the 40 in. I do want to see obviously a little bit of length at punter. I do want to see a good, solid athlete. But what are you ready to prove and show kind of just down at the showcase and showcase the abilities that you have as a specialist?
The main thing I'm ready to prove is just my leg strength. Being at like a smaller school, you don't get that chance to let yourself get seen by a lot of people. So I think it's proving my leg strength and that I do have the leg strength to be at the highest level to everybody is what I want to do. So.
And I'm going to come back to Mike in a second to ask our resident fullback here a question. But Ben, I'm going to stick with you because question, you mentioned obviously the leg strength. Have you done any kicking in your career? Have you been a kickoff specialist? Like, what is kind of the background been besides punting, if any?
So I actually didn't play high school football. I was a basketball player.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, we might have lost him.
Yep, I think we lost him.
I'll pop in. Mike, question for Mr. Rudy.
All right, what's a bigger thrill for you, laying a lead block or catching a touchdown pass at the fullback position?
In my personal opinion, there's no better feeling than seeing that running back cut right off your block. That's kind of something I love and look forward to in a game.
I got you, but don't lie. You want to catch that touchdown pass?
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, I mean, I love getting the ball, and I do. It is fun. Just turn up and run at the first guy you see. See what happens from there.
There you go. There you go. Do you have a make the fullbacks great again hat?
I have the shirt.
Oh, nice. No way.
Nice. I have the hat. I have the hat. You better be repping it.
I need the hat. I need the hat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cody, that's awesome, man. You need to bring that down to Fort Worth so we can take a look. And last question we have before we let you get off, man. We really appreciate, obviously, you taking a little bit of time. I think that, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I think this is going to be a big calling card for you, obviously, early on for potentially making a team. I think that you have a lot of special teams experience as far as coverage units. Can you just speak to special teams experience and your willingness to play on special teams?
Yeah, I mean, really, special teams is what got me started on at Ball State. Finding a way on the field was running down on kickoff and starting to light people up and making big blocks and kickoff return and punt and all that kind of stuff. And that really led into a bigger role on the offensive side of the ball, which led into really the last few years. I mean, roster I'm a fullback. The last few years I played tight end. I was our starting tight end, and all that goes from the plays that I made on special teams early on in my career.
Love it, man. I love it. Well, Cody, we'll see you down in less than a week, man. You stay safe. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Looking forward to it.
All right, Mike, we got a fullback on for you, man. I think we got one more coming on at some point tonight. I know we're rocking and rolling here. We started a little bit late, so we're trying to get as many guys on as quickly as possible, giving you kind of an inside look into some of these fantastic football players. Have a couple more that are going to be popping on. I think we got Ben Neisner coming back as well. I'm going to pop him on real quick with this as well. And we are going to go to Mr. Jonathan Ward. Ben, last question for you. Sorry that we had a little bit of technical difficulties. If there is just some things that you kind of want to highlight, I know you mentioned, obviously, just the leg strength that you have, but what as a person, the ability to sit down with these organizations, these scouts, and these personnel directors, what are some things that maybe you just want to show character-wise as yourself as a person that you can bring to their organization next week?
I would have to say probably just my work ethic in general. Is there an echo for you guys?
Nope, you're all good.
No, you're good.
Okay. I didn't play high school football, so I really just started from nothing. I worked my butt off all the way. I went from not playing high school football to being all conference and top 20 in the country. So I've had to work my butt off to do that. And I think that's my strongest attribute, is just showing everybody that I can come in and do the work I need and be a reliable player. So
I love it. Well, Ben, thank you for working through a little bit of technical difficulties. I want to have a sit down with you when we get down to Fort Worth, because I need to hear the full story about not playing high school football to where you are now. But you take care. We'll talk again very soon, okay?
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, awesome. So we are now joined by a man, I have to admit, because we got Mr. Shamarius Gilmore, who is probably the most experienced and highly accoladed player, I think, maybe on the roster, to be honest with you. And we have Jonathan Ward, who is, of course, a punter. We've got another specialist on out of Kentucky State. Shamarius, I want to just kind of put this out there for the people that don't understand this, man, because this is the craziest stats I've ever seen. At one point this year, you had 51 straight starts, right? You had 51 straights before you officially missed one game. But, Mike, get this, man. 5-time all-conference player. Five
time.
5 times all-conference player. So, Shamaris, I need to start with that, man. I need to get that a little bit. Looking back just kind of a little bit on the career you had, man, just how proud of you what you were able to accomplish at Georgia State?
Man, I'm so proud, man. I can only attest to my teammates, my coaches, and my family just to keep pushing me. And just to be honest, it's really a blessing from God. So to be there that long and, just to have the opportunity to keep playing and, thank God I was injury-free to start 51.
Absolutely. And we're going to go over to Jonathan. Jonathan, we just had, of course, the first punter of the night. You are the second punter of the night. Talk to me a little bit about your career. Highlight us for a second, Kentucky State, and what you were able to accomplish there as a player.
I actually started my career at a D3 school out of Hanover College. Played there my first 2 years. Finished off there my sophomore year as second team all-conference and special teams player of the year in that division or conference. Then I went on to play at a Division I school at Jacksonville State University. And then from there I went to Kentucky State, where at Kentucky State I ended up being nominated second team All-American, finished first team all-conference, and broke all my school punting records.
Wow. That's awesome,
That's
man.
awesome.
Yep.
So
I know.
I've got a question for you. So 5-time all-conference winner. Now, all at guard, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you have any experience playing center?
Well, in practice, I always take snaps because they always kind of bag on me. I'm 6'3" and 3/4, but to me, I'm 6'3". I'm 6'2" and 3/4, but I'm 6'3" to me. But they call me a little short, so I always like taking snaps and working on it. So I've been up here at Velocity and been working on snaps up here as well.
Awesome. Now, to go off that, what's going to be the biggest transition if you're asked to play center full time at the NFL?
The biggest transition, I would just say snapping because playing center is just like playing guard. You just gotta snap the ball. And,
Love the answer. Love the answer.
Jonathan, what is it like, man, knowing that just a week from now you're going to be in front of all these scouts, NFL evaluators, trying to show what you bring to the team? It's got to be surreal to just kind of start this process now.
That's an awesome opportunity, honestly. I just really want to go out there and show consistency and so that I'm able to compete with anybody and just do my own thing, not try to overdo it.
And where have you been training so far, Jonathan? Have you been training any place special?
Yeah, I trained with actually since since high school with a gentleman named Pete Bomarito down in Miami, Florida.
Oh, nice. Okay.
He trains with all the top guys. He's been my guy since day one. And then I trained with the coach Mike McCabe, one-on-one kicking.
Coach McCabe will be at CGS, man. Don't you worry.
Yeah, he trains me and my whole family, so that's our guy also.
That's our guy.
That's awesome. Well, Shamarius, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to go back to Jonathan. Last questions for you folks. Just starting this process, I know it could be a little stressful. Maybe if you just want to throw out a couple people in your corner, your support systems, whether it be family, coaches, like who are some people that maybe you just want to throw shout outs to as you begin this daunting process, to say the least?
First, I want to thank God. Then I got to thank, my father and my mother, all my siblings. I'm one of 14 siblings, so I want to thank all of them because that's a huge support staff right there. Coaches from high school, and just my teammates.
Love it, man. Love it. And Jonathan, same question to you.
Honestly, I want to thank my family also, my mom and dad that have really been supportive in everything I've done. I also want to thank all the coaches I've ever dealt with in my life because they've honestly taught me a lot of life lessons to mold me as a person. Also really want to give a big shout out thanks to Coach Mike McCabe. He's honestly been like a father figure on the side to me and told me to stay out of certain things. And then another gentleman named by Corey Bedvick. He played in the NFL and the CFL. He's like a big brother to me. We're really close. And honestly, just those people right there really made an impact in my life to get me to where I am today and not give up.
Love it. Love it, guys. Well, really appreciate it again. Jonathan Ward, punter out of Kentucky State. We also have Shamarius Gilmore, 5-time all-conference out of Georgia State, offensive lineman. Guys, appreciate it. We'll see you very soon, but thank you so much for just a little bit of your time today.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Mike, we are moving along here, man. We're moving along. This is moving so quickly that we have guys trying to join that are getting kicked out because this can only hold so many people backstage. So we want to get.
Oh my gosh!
I know, man. I didn't know that was even a thing until tonight. This is called baptism by fire, is what we're working with today. So, going to bring on a couple men here. We got 3 guys coming on. One that I've talked to before, actually, in the past. Of course, we got Chris Agamang. I think it's how. Correct me on the last name. I got it right.
Adjumant. Yeah,
Adjumant. Chris,
Come
I talked to you
on,
before.
Ryan.
I'm an idiot.
Come
Okay,
on.
sorry.
It was close.
I know. I just went with the G instead of the G, but
all
sound. But
good.
anyway, we got Chris Adjumang, who I actually talked to when he was still at Sacred Heart before he had transferred to Ball State. Bulked up, played in that 3-4, the 3-down odd man front there at Ball State over the last couple of years. We also got Evan Holm, who's a defensive back out of North Dakota. Yeah, both these guys are part of Desperados group. Evan recorded 6 interceptions and 33 pass breakups during his career. And I got Mr. Akil Greer, who is a wide receiver out of St. Augustine. He is a part of the Marshall group. Fellas, appreciate you all hopping on, man. Chris, got to start with you, man. We talked, 3 years ago now? 2-3 years ago? And you have to deal with me again, man. What just fill me in on the Ball State career, brother. How was your time there in Ball State?
I couldn't ask for a better time. Shout out to the coaches, my teammates. I was just able to not only play great football, but able to get a great education, obtain my master's and stuff. So that was something that I was really proud about. But overall, it's just everything I could ask for: opportunity to play and an opportunity to win. So I'm thankful for the opportunity.
Oh, I see we have a dog in the background. I love that. Love that.
Yep.
Just want to join the interview, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, I know. Wants to get on it.
That's awesome. I got a question real quick for all 3 guys, Brian. A little rapid fire here. So, hey, going one by one here. Who was the toughest opponent you faced? Now, Chris, like an offensive lineman you faced. You guys are defensive backs. So, a receiver. Who was the toughest corner? And who was the toughest receiver you went against? So let's start with you, Chris.
I probably have to say between Tommy Doyle, who's out of Miami, Ohio, who got drafted last year, and then there's a right tackle, I forget his name, from Central Michigan. There's 2 of them. They're both
Bernard Raymond and Luke Gadecki is the other one.
Yep, Luke Gadecki, yeah. I would say they're both great challenges too, but I would probably say the right tackle, Gadecki.
Wow.
All right,
nice. Okay. Why don't we, Akil? We haven't heard from you yet, man. Who's maybe a cornerback that you feel like was a good competition for you? Maybe gave you a little bit of problem, but you obviously were able to rise to the challenge.
There were 2: Joshua Williams from Fayetteville State and Joshua Winston-Salem State. They're both very good corners, and both of them are drafted here.
Yeah. Now, those are a couple great ones. I actually had the opportunity to talk to Joshua. He's a fantastic player. He's long as anything, man. I would love to see that matchup. Evan, going over to you, man. Now you play a little bit all over, I believe, on the back end. So it could be a tight end, it could be a wide receiver, whoever. Who's the guy for you?
Yeah, I'd say my junior year, I played Dejon Dixon out of Nicholls State. He's just a bigger body, but he had some speed to him too. Kind of gave me some more trouble than other guys. And then another guy, I think he's going to CGS, is Dennis Houston out of Western Illinois. I thought he was a pretty good receiver. He got me a couple times. We had some good battles over a couple of games. And then I noticed you said Tommy Doyle. I actually went to high school with Tommy Doyle, which is kind of cool to hear his name. Yeah.
Is the rumors about Tommy being a really good hockey player true? I heard he was quite a skater.
Yeah, he was. Despite he's super big, but he was kind of agile too. That's kind of a freak.
I love it, man. I love it. So rapid fire, fellas. I'm going to start with Akil this time. I'll go to Evan, and then I'll end with Chris here. Akil, what are some things that you want to prove down there? Obviously, I know you're a good sized player. Obviously, you had a lot of production during your time. What are some things that you want to show to NFL scouts down in CGS?
I just want to show that I'm versatile, my versatility, that I'm able to do more than expected. Can play outside receiver, slot receiver, can produce at times as well. Wherever I'm asked to go, I can produce. Just want to show that where it's not where you play, it's how you play.
The CGS motto, man.
That's the motto. Yep, there it is. All right, going over to you, Evan. What are some things that you want to showcase?
I'd have to say versatility as well, but also on special teams, return kicks, punts, a gunner, things like that are really important because you might not be able to make the roster at the position you want, and I think I have versatility. I could play nickel, corner. If I had to move to safety, I would. I think I have a lot of intangibles athletically, elite speed that can kind of translate to other positions, and then I think I can really find a spot on special teams as well, which I think is really important.
Yeah, it's vital, honestly, especially for the position you play. And ending with Chris Adjumang, what are some things that you want to prove, sir?
I mean, kind of the same thing these two other gentlemen have said, but also I guess just showing that I can be more fluid. Coming from two different schools, I was playing at two different weights. Sicker how I was more 255, 260. Now I'm about 285, and also just be able to show that I can be fluid, and also just again the versatility, play the 3 tech, 5 nose, whatever it is. Match to do.
I love it. Again, Keel Greer, wide receiver out of St. Augustine. We got Evan Holm, defensive back out of North Dakota, and Chris Adjumang, defensive lineman out of Ball State, former Sacred Heart transfer. Fellas, appreciate the patience with this. I know there's a lot of moving parts. I'm trying to get as many guys on as possible, but we really do appreciate all the time tonight. See you guys in very shortly, only a few days away.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Mike. We are moving. We're moving pretty well, man. I would honestly say. I know it's a lot. I know players are waiting. We really appreciate, obviously, especially the guys that are waiting patiently behind the scenes here, navigating a lot of players, a lot of great stories, and I'm trying to highlight as much as possible, obviously. But fortunately, time is of the essence sometimes, and we're kind of just a victim of time sometimes. But want to bring on now
4 times. That was impressive, Ryan.
That was a lot of times, man, because we're out of time and we're still bringing guys on. You know what I mean? So bringing on, let's get a couple guys in here. Fellas, appreciates again the flexibility, being able to be with us tonight. I got Mr. Bryce Witt, quarterback out of Chowan, one of the biggest, strongest quarterbacks I have ever seen, if I do say so myself. We got Mr. Logan Swanson joining us, defensive lineman out of Augustana, who has 32 tackles for loss and 12 and a half sacks in his career. Bryce, I skipped over him. As far as some of the accolades, he is a part of our Desperados group, as well as Logan is. 99 career touchdown passes and 28 additional touchdown runs. And I got Kevin Apari. Is that how you pronounce it, Kevin? Am I saying that right?
Kelvin Apari.
So, Kelvin Apari. I'm an idiot.
Oh,
don't pay
Brian, there goes the show.
Mike, you're going to introduce the next people, okay? There's a lot of guys. I'm getting through it. Kelvin Apari, who is a linebacker out of Central Connecticut State, featured as a pass rusher a ton for Central Connecticut, 12 and a half tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks this past season, was a Harvard transfer, and he is a part of our Marshals group. Kelvin, want to start with you, man. Obviously, Harvard guy. So that's pretty impressive, man. What was it like just playing in the Ivies? Because I know obviously that's a little bit of a different animal. We're not talking about postseason, obviously, but maintaining the school load that you have while being a Division I football player is a pretty unique and difficult road, obviously.
Yeah, it definitely was, but it was also a great experience. I was surrounded by like-minded guys, all motivated to, succeed on and off the field. So it was always a, good environment to, give my best and to perform well. And to our coaches had high expectations for us, even though we're, Ivy League program, so we might receive flack, but a lot of our guys all ball perform at a high level.
I love it. And I want to move over to Bryce, and then I know Mike has a question for Logan, because Logan is that dude in the middle of a defense. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Absolutely,
Bryce,
man.
You're a guy that I was very impressed with when I got to catch just a little bit of what you are, because you are obviously a big quarterback. You're asked to do a lot, quarterback run game, and just kind of give me Tim Tebow vibes, to be very honest with you, man. Just kind of looking back at the accomplishments you had, I think it's 127 total touchdowns. How proud are you of the career that you had out there?
That's definitely something that I definitely take pride in, for sure. Scoring touchdowns as a quarterback, that's definitely a lot of fun. So always playing football, you love to score touchdowns, and 127 of them. It's been an honor to be able to go out there and score a lot of points. So it's been a lot of fun scoring a lot of touchdowns.
Love it. Logan, let me ask you this. You've had a great career at Augustana. What are some things when you're talking with NFL and CFL teams? What's your best quality as a defensive lineman? in
My
your
best
opinion?
quality would probably be my relentless effort. I attack every play like that's the play that's going to make the difference in the game. Games are won by inches, and I want to be the difference maker that every play I'm in and make a difference.
Awesome. I love it. I love it.
Logan, is it safe to say, I feel like I ask every defensive lineman, it's always the same answer. Who do you model your game after? Aaron Donald? Is that it?
I wish. I mean, I love Aaron Donald and watching him play, but honestly, the person I've been watching a lot this season that I feel like I match really well is Michael Pierce. He's a interior defensive lineman for the
Wow, I like
Vikings,
that.
and he's actually I'm 6'2", and he's shorter. He's actually just 6 foot, but he plays with that same relentless effort that I feel like I do. I feel like I dominate the line of scrimmage, and that's my strong suit. I helped Augustana become the #1 rush defense across all divisions, D2, D3, D1, FBS, and FCS. And I feel like having that edge of just winning that line of scrimmage every play really makes a difference. And you saw that in the Super Bowl as well with like Ndamukong Suh. So I'd match those two probably.
That's awesome. And obviously, Pierce was a great player for the Ravens. The Vikings really missed out on him last year due to the injury, but he's back to his old bad self. I want to go over to Kelvin. Kelvin, I know you're a guy that's obviously been featured a lot as a pass rusher. I know that there's going to be obviously some instances in CGS where you're asked to play more of an off-ball role and to kind of show yourself moving in space. How ready are you to kind of show the versatility you have as a player?
I'm very excited to do that. You know, during our previous season at CCSU, I was able to, get out in space and move around and cover. But I'm also playing that DN position with my hand down. So I think it'll be a great opportunity to, show that I can play with my hand in the dirt as well as on 2 feet, being able to move back and cover guys.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go over to Bryce, and then Mike, if you want to get them maybe a question that can kind of go around the horn to get him out of here. Bryce, question for you, because we talked about the 28 rushing touchdowns. Obviously, your ability as a runner and the ability to be an extension of the passing game is obviously a big part of your game. Just how important is it to just show the athleticism you have outside of, just your general ability to throw the football down in Fort Worth?
That's definitely, I'd say, one of my strengths is just being able to get out the pocket and make plays. Like you said, being kind of a bigger quarterback, being a bigger guy, not an easy guy to take down in the pocket. So being able to break tackles in the pocket and get outside the pocket and kind of extend those plays, like you see quarterbacks nowadays, kind of extending plays, being able to make explosive plays outside the pocket is something that I definitely can do for sure.
That's awesome. So my rapid question real quick, guys. What's one thing that you're most excited to go through about this draft process? Logan, we'll start with you.
Most excited about the draft process is kind of meeting all the new people. I mean, I'm really excited to get down to Fort Worth and meet a bunch of guys from all different levels. I got some friends like the Lewis kid from Montana State that I really look forward to connecting with again. And I'm just excited to see the competition and also to go travel across the nation.
That's awesome. Kelvin, what about you?
I'm excited to compete. I'm excited to, line up and match up with a whole bunch of different personalities from all over the world and go out there and show what you can do and show how you perform with guys that are also playing at a high level.
Awesome. How about you, Bryce?
I'd kind of say the same thing. Go out there and kind of compete. Just all being football players. We love to compete and get out there and get after it against one another and kind of prove ourselves. So that's kind of the main thing for me as well.
Love it. So Bryce Witt, quarterback out of Chow. We got Augustana's own Logan Swanson and Kelvin Apari, defensive end, outside linebacker. I think he's going to play some inside. He can play anywhere in the front seven, in my opinion, out of Central Connecticut State. Appreciate you folks for hopping on here, man. We'll see you again in a short week here, but thank you so much for the time tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mike, I'm getting a little exhausted, man. I'm working here, man. I'm working. I'm earning my paycheck tonight, I would say, my illustrious money that I make, out of this deal. So, all right. So we are going to bring on. All right, shut up, dude. I'm working here. All right, just let me work. All right. All right, we're going to be bringing on a couple other guys. Got a lot coming in. Again, if you are backstage and we are maybe over time a little bit, really do appreciate everybody for being patient with us because, again, started a little bit late here, but we are getting as many great football players, I might add, on as possible. I got Omar Forts, who is a defensive player. I'm just going by defensive player because I think he can play on the second level. I think he can play some safety. He's out of UConn. I think that he can play a lot of different positions, which I think a lot of people are really going to like about him. I got Bryson Donnell, who is Donnell. Is that correct, or is it Donald?
That's correct, Donnell.
Donnell, I got it. Oh, Mike, I finally got one on the first try. Awesome, man.
All right, hey, let's focus, Ryan. Let's focus now.
I'm focused, man.
He's
I'm
one
as
for three
focused
right
as
now
I
on
will.
names.
I'm focused as I'll ever be. He is a two-time first-team All Conference player out of Southeast Missouri State. And our last guest that I just brought on here, we have Mr. Tristan Schultz, who is a left tackle out of Liberty, who has started a ton of football games out there at Liberty. Tristan, I want to start with you, man, because there is a lot of talk about Mr. Malik Willis. I want to ask you about this offense that you just came out of. Joshua Max, another guy that I knew, he started his career at Maine, did a lot of good stuff. Obviously down at Liberty, really talented offense. What was it like being a part of this offense the last couple years under Hugh Freeze? Obviously, a lot of firepower to say the least.
Yeah, it was a great offense. I mean, I loved being a part of it. And Malik was just, I mean, he's just one crazy player. He's truly gifted.
Man, he's unreal. Do you ever catch yourself? Because I know that, like, I played offensive tackle once upon a time. You would always get yelled at if a play is kind of being extended a little bit, right? And you start looking behind you, but then you kind of catch the magic of what Malik Willis is doing. You ever just kind of get like in a cycle where you're like, oh, I'm supposed to be blocking, but like, look what that dude's doing right now.
Oh, all the time. I mean, he's over here doing a spin move during practice. Like, dude, I mean, oh my gosh.
I love it. I want to go to Bryson now.
Omar, I got a question for you. So,
cool.
real quick, so you're Mr. Versatility. What if you had to pick a position that you were destined to play, what are you most comfortable playing?
Yeah, so you're right. I started college playing corner, and I ended playing linebacker. So in that whole span, gained 40 pounds. My ideal position is like down safety, kind of like Jamal Adams, that nickelback. But I just want to be on the field. I just want to make a play. I believe I'm a playmaker, and I just bring that energy that I feel that can change the defense and the whole attitude and how they play.
Love it. Well, you'll get to do that at CGS for sure, my man.
Ooh, can't wait, man. My boys.
Bryson, you're a guy that I've been really impressed with. Like I said, two-time all-conference selection. Describe yourself as a football player, man. More of a run plugger? Are you a 4-down guy, 3-down guy? Like, how would you describe yourself stylistically?
Mostly, I feel like I'm kind of versatile, but I play anywhere from the 0 to the 3. In our defense, we are 3-4, so mostly that's what I've been playing, 3 technique. But sometimes we're in the 2 out, sometimes I'm at the 0. Sir.
Love it, man. I love it. And I'm going to kind of go over to Tristan for a second. Tristan, obviously you've played a lot of tackle in your career. In the preparation for this, are you taking snaps? Are you getting some reps inside a guard? Like, what's the outlook as far as like how many positions you can play?
Yeah, I'm just getting reps at center and guard too, so I'm open for anything.
Love it, man. A few words. Let's rock and roll.
Hey, man. Offensive linemen are all about business, man. We don't have time for that type of stuff, right? I mean, honestly. So I want to go over, of course, back to Mr. Omar Fort, because Omar, you are a fun player to watch, man. I must say, you bring a lot of energy to the field. And I want to ask you about your defense a little bit, because I know that it was a struggle at times. Obviously, win-loss wasn't what you wanted to be, do all that type of stuff. But like, we're talking about Travis Jones, a defensive tackle, who I think is going to be a top 100 pick, right? Yeah, sure. Jeremy Lucian, I know, is in the transfer portal. He's on his way out, but a really talented football player. Can you just kind of talk a little bit about just the defense that you guys had? Because I feel like you guys were a little underrated just because of the win-loss record a little bit.
Yeah, so Lou Spanos was our DC this year. Came from Steelers, Alabama. I have nothing but good things to say about that guy. But he brings a lot of energy to that position. So, he's sending us on blitz. We have, corner blitzes, safety blitzes. But yeah, so Jeremy's going to Vanderbilt. I was playing. Travis Jones made my life so much easier. And
kept you clean.
I'm pretty sure my boy right here is going to make my life easier at the CGS Bowl. But yeah, we just go out there and we have like an attitude that, when we get on the field, no one can mess with us. And just making sure like every play is felt like we're felt in that little tiny moment. So flying around with the boys, I have Jackson Mitchell to the left of me, and then the other outside linebacker, Ian Swinson. We were bringing that maturity and that swag this year, and we sure did play with it. So I appreciate you for thinking I'm an exciting player, because that's not me. It's a collective effort.
Oh, absolutely, man. And I appreciate that response. And I know, again, guys, appreciate all the time. I want to go rapid fire here. I want to kind of go to Bryson first, I think. Then maybe we'll go to Omar and then end with Tristan here. I know it's obviously probably been a dream for a long time. How long has playing in the NFL been a dream for you? What would you say is the age and the first memory of wanting to play professionally?
I'll say pretty early. I started playing football in the 7th grade, and ever since then, people just spoken over my life saying, "Oh, you're going to the league, you're going to the league." Sometimes when you're young, you don't really, realize that. But when you get to a time like this and you see it's actually a possibility, it means a lot, to possibly fulfill those dreams. So I'll probably say around since 7th grade, since I started playing. That's when this man.
I started a little bit younger, around 4th grade. I used to watch. I was running back then. I used to watch Tiki Barber and Rondé Barber.
Nice.
So, but also my brother was drafted in the 4th round to the Saints. So, going while he's in high school, I'm in elementary school. I'm at his workouts every night, just watching him. Basically getting a visual image and trying to follow in his footsteps on how to get to where I needed to go. So definitely he has that pedigree, and he's passing it along to me. And I just can't wait to get out there in Texas. And CGS is a perfect place to be, because all scouts are going to be there. Everyone is going to be competing, and I get to compete against the best. So that's been my goal, and I can't wait to get there.
Well, you're going to get a lot of eyes, man. 130 plus scouts on average over the last couple of years. 12 guys drafted last year, another 70 plus signing free agent contracts. Tristan, last guy on the panel here. When did it become a dream, man? I'm sure it's been a long time coming.
Back in kindergarten, I was like, what's my dream to be? I was like, I want to play in the NFL, and that was my dream.
I love it, man. I hope you didn't have one of those teachers that's like, oh no, pick a real dream, all right? Pick a real profession. All right, well, fellas, this is a lot of fun. I guess, again, joined by Bryson Donnell, Omar Fort, and Mr. Tristan Schultz. We're going to see all these young men down here in less than a week down in Fort Worth. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you again very soon.
Sure. Thank you.
See you guys.
See you later.
Mike, I would have to say, I don't want to say he's my favorite so far, but I would say Omar Fort brought some energy, man. I like him. Oh,
a lot. Absolutely. I thought Tristan was a good time, man.
Oh, hey, man, they're all good times. Honestly, This has been really fun so far. I know we're rocking and rolling. We're getting a lot of guys on here in a very short amount of time. Want to thank everybody out there. I think we have 30 plus people watching live just on YouTube. If there are any questions that you all want to drop in for a player in particular, please throw it in at any time. Or guys, if you're waiting backstage for us and you're a little behind your time, just please stay patient. We are getting through as many players as we possibly can. Have here a young man that I talked to before, Mr. Dylan Cook out of the University of Montana, very talented football player. I feel like I keep talking about him in every scouting meeting we have here. Got Mr. Barry Wesley, who is an offensive tackle, also on the set now out of Colorado State, and got Joshua Archibald out of McGill. Joshua, appreciate you especially for being very patient. I know we're a little behind your time, but thank you so much for being patient.
No problem.
A little bit about, like I said, about Mr. Dylan Cook, who is a fascinating story. I don't beg you. I would say that you should go take a listen to Believe in NFL Draft Prospect podcast, where I had him on. He is the starting right tackle for Montana over the last couple of years. He started out as a quarterback out of Montana State Northern and eventually made the transition to offensive tackle. Great story. And Barry Wesley, 2021 preseason All Mountain West for every publication out there. Athletic Sports, Phil Steele, was the PFF all Mountain West team as well. So a high accolade player, obviously, this past year. Joshua, you've been waiting so long, man. So I want you to start with this here. Defensive line, talk to me a little bit about your skill set. What type of player are you? Are you a true 4-3 hand in the dirt type of guy? Are you a guy that can play as a stand-up rusher? Can you play in space? What makes you a good football player?
I'll definitely have to say that my speed is what separates me from a lot of edge rushers and defensive ends. I am a little bit undersized. I mean, coming from Canada, a true defensive end, you're at, about, 240, 250. So I had to gain a lot of weight for me to, want to compete definitely down in the States and try to remove that stigma of, Canadian players can't ball, because we do have a little juice, some of us, obviously. So I'm looking forward to soak up as much information as I can down in Texas, and just, competing, being myself, and staying true to who I am. And
Love it.
that would definitely have to be my speed over
Love it, man. And let me ask you, McGill. I don't know anything about McGill. I'm going to be very honest and apparent about that. What is? Just give me a little info about McGill. Where is
What's
it
the
located?
mascot?
What's the
Okay, so
mascot? Love to hear
the
it.
mascot's a red bird.
Okay.
But
Fierce?
Sorry?
Fierce. The fierce mascot.
A little bit. Mixed reviews on that one. But I'd say we have Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, who's a guard for Kansas City Chiefs, and who's now I think got traded to the Jets, I think. But so that's pretty much who we have coming out of our school, really, and he really set the tone and really opened the market for Canadian football.
I love
Obviously,
it.
there's the Chase Claypools and whatnot, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember.
Oh, go ahead, Brian.
No, go ahead, Mike. You're good.
No, I was going to ask for Barry and Dylan real quick. So, as offensive linemen, sometimes you're put on a one-on-one island for pass rush. Who's the guy that really stood out to you going against this year that really put you in that fight or flight moment of rising to the next level and pass protection? Barry, I'll start with you, man.
Okay. Well, past couple of years, we have great opportunities to play some non-conference games, and this year we played at Iowa. And number 97, I got his name pulled up just so I won't forget, Zach Vandenberg. I'm sorry if I butchered that.
Yeah.
The whole Iowa defense line, strong, physical, quick decisions, with their moves, A, B, C. So I'll definitely stay with him, and yeah.
Awesome. How about you, Dylan?
For me, it'd be I think his name's like Josiah Johnson or something. He played for Sac State, but he's All-American. Just had a motor. Just had to stick with him. Had to play a lot longer than the average 6 or 7 seconds.
Well, I'll tell you, the first game I saw of you, Dylan, that really impressed me was a couple years ago when you played Oregon, right? What was that, 2019? You had a game out there. Obviously, Kayvon's talked about a lot, but there's a lot of great guys on that Oregon. And I was going to say, looking at you, Joshua, for a second, when you were talking about the Canada kind of, a lot more players coming out of there, I interviewed Benjamin St. Juste last year out of Minnesota, who's also Canadian. He talked to me a lot about just the lack of opportunities that are afforded to a lot of Canadians, because I think there's a stigma a little bit, right? They're under recruited. There's not as many eyes. What does it mean to you to continue to bring the wave of great Canadian born players to the NFL? I would imagine it has to be a lot for maybe a region that is not maybe afforded as much opportunity as some are.
For me personally, it means a lot because, it gives a lot of guys, the potential to go out to, really showcase, what they have to offer. And honestly, I believe there's a lot of wasted talent also of guys who, don't get a good enough opportunity presented in front of them and, end up, giving up on the game or end up, getting, what's it called?
Discouraged, maybe.
Yeah, discouraged and just, losing the passion for the sport. So really, I think it's huge for players. And I also think it's huge for the market in Canada.
Absolutely. That's a great point. And Barry, I want to ask you, man, because I will tell you, one of my favorite players in this draft is Trey McBride, the tight end out of Colorado State. That dude is a dog, man. Can you talk to me just about maybe the relationship that you guys have? Because I just usually people talk about like the other offensive lineman, but like he's playing next to you a ton. You guys are kind of working the edge a little bit there. How special of a player is he, and just kind of your relationship with him?
Yeah, so Trey's, first off, he's a tough dude. We came in together. I'm a year older. He came in a year younger, but I redshirted. So just being able to play with him and just communicate, he's a joker. He likes to joke with people. He likes to have fun. But he's a good dude, and I think our relationship is just something that I've had with our whole offense and the whole team is something that just drives the offense. If you can trust the people next to you, you can get the job done. And with Trey, he knows when to have fun, but he also knows when it's time to play ball and put the helmet on and get going. So, yeah.
Love it. And Dylan, obviously, I want you just to highlight this for a second. Again, go back to the podcast. You can listen to the more in-depth story just briefly about your journey from quarterback to where you are now.
Yeah, I guess it's been a ride. Had to put on a lot of weight, but there's nothing wrong with that. I got to eat whatever I wanted, really, because I came in at 255. So right now I'm sitting around 315. So I had to put on weight and do it pretty fast.
Yeah. And Mike, you have an around the horn question for the folks?
Absolutely. So we're all linemen here. You're all linemen here. So what are you looking most forward? What food are you barbecue? Excuse me. What barbecue are you looking most forward to down in Fort Worth when you get down there?
There is a correct answer, by the way. We'll start with you, Joshua.
I'm gonna have to say the brisket, to be honest.
That's a good answer.
Let's go. Let's go.
Barry, there is a wrong answer.
Yeah, I'm going to say brisket. You know, a good brisket can always.
Good, man. It's good. I love it. Dylan, there is a wrong answer.
That's so crazy. I was gonna say brisket too.
You're lying. Somebody, you guys just
I'm dead ass.
They're trying to copy the wave, man.
I'm for real. That's why I laughed.
I'm telling. Well, no, I need to pose it to Mike now, and I'm sorry for going over with you guys because this is a fun conversation. Mike, there is a wrong answer. What barbecue are you looking forward to, sir?
Ribs, man. Ribs.
Ribs are kind of overrated, to be honest. I'm not going to put that
Wow.
out there. It's a little overrated.
Don't agree with him. Don't agree with him.
They said the correct answer. The correct answer is brisket, or if you're getting really fancy, some burnt ends. You know burnt ends, Mike?
Okay.
You know burnt ends?
I do. I'm a connoisseur of the barbecue, Ryan. So
okay. All right. So you need that, the mac and cheese always, but it's got to be good mac and cheese. You have to have the breadcrumb on top, right? It needs to be the baked mac and cheese. And hush puppies.
You are going fancy,
hush puppies,
Ryan.
sir. Hush puppies, which is just for people out there that don't know, it's just deep fried cornbread. That's all it is, but it's fantastic. So thank you all so much for popping in with us, guys. Again, Joshua Archibald out of McGill. We got Dylan Cook, offensive tackle out of Montana. And we got offensive tackle Barry Wesley out of Colorado State. Thank you, guys. We'll see you very shortly here, fellas.
Thank you. See you.
All right, Mike, that was my favorite one, man. We need to start asking. You need to start asking fun questions instead of the.
All right. Well, hey, you were all Mr. Serious.
People want to know about barbecue. They don't care about your regular questions, man. Like they want to know the real hard hitting topics that we're bringing to the table. Okay. You brought ribs to the table. Like pretty overrated to be honest, man.
Absolutely not. But okay.
Yeah, no, it is. But anyway, we're going to bring on three young men now. A young man that I actually had the opportunity to put in for his invites a few weeks ago, Mr. Weston Elliott, who's a quarterback out of Merrimack. Originally, he was actually I always want to say Western Kentucky, but it is not Western Kentucky. It is, where was he originally? Weston, don't tell me. Louisiana Tech. I'm an idiot. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, Louisiana Tech. We got Tyshawn Brooks, who, if we're talking about the ability to be not only a dynamic defensive back, but also one of the best returners in all of college football out of Minnesota State, part of a really good football team, obviously, over the last few years. They made it to, I believe, the national championship a couple years ago. I know they lost to West Florida, but a talented player nonetheless. And we are going to have Antoine Frazier when he pops back in on here, who is a Northern Iowa offensive tackle, originally at Kansas, and has been really mainstay on the offensive line for UNI over the last couple years. Weston, want to start with you a little bit here, okay? Because obviously, like you said, Louisiana Tech transfer, you have that, that FBS pedigree, big guy, 6'5", 230 pounds, right around. Yep. Obviously, you have the arm strength, all that great stuff. You go to Merrimack, and you have a dynamic season, 30 touchdown passes, nearly 3,000 yards. Talk to me about your final season, because I know you had to wait a little bit to really get a full-time starting job and obviously a high volume of reps.
Yeah, no, I couldn't be, Merrimack gave me a great opportunity to come in and play. And, the goal going into that season, I had a great QB coach at Louisiana Tech, actually 3 great QB coaches at Louisiana Tech. Going to Merrimack, I got my 4th great QB coach. Couldn't be more blessed to have those guys. But, going into Merrimack, the goal was to lead the country in completion percentage and be the most efficient quarterback from a cerebral standpoint. And just be accurate and make decisions and play with anticipation.
Love it. I love it. So, Shannon, I know you are one of the most dynamic returners, like I said. Talk to me a little bit about just your play style. I know you're really explosive, short areas, but what do you feel like separates you not only as a punt returner, kick returner, but also a defensive back?
I think I'm versatile, and I'm a playmaker. I like to make plays. I make plays in big time moments. I'm a leader on the field. I'm a leader off the field, and I feel like I'm a person that's going to bring spark to your team in a positive way.
For sure, man, for sure. And I know I think I had the stat up here, man, but it was like 15 yards per punt return, a couple touchdowns this year, 5 interceptions. I had it in front of me. I don't know where it went, but obviously a dynamic season this past year. And we may have Braden Thomas, who, of course, was at Minnesota State a couple years ago, now part of the North Dakota State team down in Fort Worth as well. So excited to have you. Obviously, Antoine, now that we have you on here, man, I am excited about this one, man, because you have been able to play at UNI with some fantastic football players, to say the least. Can you talk to me about the offensive line room down there? We had Spencer Brown a couple years ago. I know you just came in last spring or whatever, and you were first year, obviously, for coming over from Kansas, but you got to play with Trevor Penning, who's a projected potential first-round pick. What are they doing down there at UNI, man, to keep developing these great offensive linemen?
I'd like to just say it was just a great moment to be a part of. The time that I spent at UNI, just because of the formula they have, is, it's just work. You just grind. You just put in the time. And, I owe a lot to Jed Smith, the strength coach, because he, in the off season, he's gonna grind you. He's gonna get every bit of energy you have out every day. And had I been able to be there for like 4 years, things might have been just a little bit different. But I mean, just being there for the time I was, it's just like the formula. They just got a formula and it works. If you just buy in, that's all it takes.
Well, and can you fill us in? Because I've talked to a lot of those UNI guys, including Ellerson Smith, that came out a couple of years last year, actually, defensive end. I think it's more of a freshman type of coming in thing, but do you have any experience with the jungle juice that they talk about?
Oh, yeah. See, I was already like probably 315, 320, so they wouldn't really like let me seriously hit that jungle juice, but it's definitely I've seen some guys blow up. Like my guy, Dom Williams, he blew up off that. When he left KU, he was more like a little skill back, but
yeah,
when he spent a few months in UNI now, he blew up. He gained at least.
What is the jungle juice?
I don't know if I can really like give away certain ingredients, but it's mainly Gatorade with whey protein and a little bit of some secret powder. I don't know, but
love it. Love it.
I was trying to ask what it was when Dom was there before me, and he was acting like it was just a top secret ingredient, like the Krusty Krab formula.
Man, if you weren't going to tell us, man, I was going to put it out there because I've gotten me okay. Who's the strength coach over there? I've talked to him before. He's a great guy.
His name's Jed Smith.
Jed Smith. Yeah, I talked to him last year. I talked to him last year, man, and I was like, I needed to know what's in the jungle juice, and he told me. So he's like, you can tell people, it's fine. So he was showing me pictures, man, of like when David Johnson was coming out of there and all their dudes that they've had at UNI, and I'm just like, the transformations is just incredible, to say the least. Weston, I want to come back to you, man, because I know for you, right, like you're going to look the part. I know you're going to throw the ball well. For the quarterback position, obviously, the mental side is so important. How excited are you just to kind of present your football knowledge in front of the boards, in front of some NFL evaluators, and just show how smart you are when it comes to the game?
Yeah, no, I pride myself on that, and I think that's the biggest attributor of my success in college football. It's something, every single day, I might spend 2 hours working physically, but 3-4 hours, and in those 3 and 4 hours taking, quality reps mentally, and just being able to process what's happening on film, be able to translate that to the field. And I think that's going to be huge coming down to CGS and being able to show that.
Absolutely. And Mike, I'm going to ask you to go us around the horn in just a second. Tyshawn, I want to come to you now, though, because you mentioned obviously the versatility that you have. You think that sets you apart. I want to ask you, man, who are some guys that you like to watch? Like when I think of versatility, it's just continuing to evolve in the game. Like you could see Jalen Ramsey basically going from outside corner to nickel to safety at times. Jair Alexander's going to follow the best guys around. Like, who are some of your guys that you like to watch in time?
I like to watch guys like Kenny Moore, like guys similar to me. Like he went D2, went to Valdosta State. Just his route is just kind of similar. I like watching him play. He's a big playmaker. I like watching Darius Slay, a big playmaker. Just those playmaker type guys that like to turn over the ball in any type of way, and those just the guys. Those are the guys that excite me.
Love it. Mike, take us around the horn.
Gotcha. All right, guys. So real quick, we're heading to Texas. What's the one barbecue that you're looking forward to eating down there?
Oof. Guys, there is a right answer. I'm going to start with Weston because Weston, I know you're from down there, right? So you're a Southern guy. You understand good barbecue. What is the best barbecue that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, no, I'm from West Texas, and you can get a baked potato with pulled pork in it or whatever kind of meat.
Wow.
That's my
Wow.
go-to. You can kind of find those scattered in and out around here.
Wow.
So the moment I find that, I'm a pretty happy guy.
Wow, that's a game changer. I've never had that before.
Yeah, wow.
Antoine, a lot of pressure, man. You're the only lineman on this right now, so I know you can eat, brother. Tell me, what do you got? What do you got cooking?
Everywhere I go, I judge barbecue places off their ribs.
Yes,
no.
Let's go.
You can't,
Antoine,
if
go.
you can't get the ribs
Go.
right, if you can't get the ribs right, I'm not trusting
My
anything else
man.
on the menu.
I don't want to get the ribs right. I want to skip the ribs. I want to continue the good food. I want to get the brisket or the pulled pork or pulled chicken. Like I don't
He
care about the
just
ribs.
doesn't
man.
understand, Antoine. He
Ah.
just
It
doesn't
takes a real artist. Because I like barbecue. I like the barbecue. It just takes a real artist to get them ribs right. Anyone can grill that brisket and that other stuff, but the ribs is very intricate.
This is awesome. He won MVP in my books already.
Yeah, all right, man. All right, chill out. Tyshawn Brooks, please save us, sir. Please save us.
I'm sorry, but he hit it on the head.
Oh,
I'm a ribs guy.
Let's go. 2 MVPs right here.
Mr. Brooks, I had such high hopes for you, man. Such high hopes.
2 MVPs right here.
Well, fellas, I appreciate the fun, man. I appreciate again the ability to sit down with you for a few minutes, and I appreciate the flexibility that you have. I know we're kind of behind schedule a little bit, but thank you all. We'll see you down very soon, okay? I'm going to show you some real good barbecue when we get down there, okay?
Oh, here we go.
Thank you.
See you guys. Mike, we got more, man. Just got no taste in here, man. We just got no taste. The only one was Weston, man. He got it. He understood it. Okay,
I wasn't expecting his response. That was fancy right there.
That sounded delicious. Like I'm a little jealous, to be honest. So going to keep pulling some guys in. That's Mike's question. Apparently, he's going to keep asking about barbecue to the fellas. I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. Appreciate everybody out there again in Twitterland. We are sponsored by Frog Fuel. Just had my first pouch earlier, and I did some push-ups, sit-ups. Feel good about myself, unlike usually. So we got Mr. Cody Gustafson, who I have to say, Cody, I didn't know a ton about you, man, but then I saw 5,328 yards, 52 touchdowns on 341 catches during your Grove City career. Got Mr. Jordan Kennedy. Did I pronounce that correct, Jordan? Just want to make sure.
Kennedy.
Like, yes, okay, Kennedy. Got it. North Dakota. Talk about another impressive stat line. 234 total tackles during his career, 8 interceptions, and 22 pass breakups. And we're joined by Arthur Anderson, who is another wide receiver. He is out of Concordia. Fellas, appreciate you all for popping in. Like I kind of started with, I want to start with the wide receivers in the room. I want to start with you, Cody. That stat line's incredible, man. I have not seen something like that. Obviously, coming out of Grove City, some people are going to question, obviously the level of competition. Just kind of looking back at the career that you had, man. Just how.
Hold up, Brian. Hold on. Level of competition. The PAC is a tough conference, man. I'm a Waynesburg grad.
Oh my God!
Right. Cody tore up the Yellow Jackets in his career.
Hey, Cody did a lot of great things, which is why I'm asking Cody. Can you just kind of relive and tell me just how proud you are of what you were able to accomplish there? Obviously, multiple Americans, and last year I think you had over 1,400 yards and like 97 catches. Like just incredible stats, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was an awesome experience just getting to play there. Very thankful for my coaches and the players around me. They really helped me to get to where I was at stat wise. the competition is maybe not what you would see at the Division I level, but like Mike said, I think there is some pretty good competition. Just really looking forward to showcasing the route running ability that I was able to showcase at this level.
Love it, man. I love it. Arthur, I want to come over to you, man. Fill me in on what type of player you are. Like, are you a outside vertical guy? Are you a guy that could move all over the place? Are you an intermediate separator? Like, what type of receiver are you?
I think I'm all the above. I think I am a good route runner. I consider myself a speed guy, so I can beat you over top. I'm good in space. I'm a very versatile guy. I know y'all heard that a lot from a lot of these people that's been doing it, but I do think I'm versatile. During my career in college, I have receiving touchdowns. I have rushing touchdowns. I even have a passing touchdown. So I've done some wildcat stuff. Whatever you need, I can do it. I don't really put myself in the category because I think I can do it pretty much all.
Man, you could sling a little bit. Was it a nice pass?
Man, yeah, I can do a little something. I played quarterback my whole life until college and a little bit in college, so I got a little something in me. Got a little something.
I got to stretch it out, man. We got to get you down there. I want to see it down there. Jordan, I want to go to you, man, because you've been a very productive player for several years for that North Dakota defense. Just kind of, what are some of your favorite accomplishments, man? Like, what do you feel like are maybe some things that stick out to you that maybe you're most proud of?
Oh yeah, it's a great question. I think this spring season was awesome. We made it pretty far in the playoffs. I've had a great career. I played a lot of football, played a lot of good teammates. This just my coaching staff has been incredible. Giving me the opportunity to come back and play. Obviously I suffered a pretty serious injury in the spring, and I was able to come back and play. Finish this fall. I know Cam Akers is getting a lot of credit for coming back from his Achilles in about 5.5 months. I mean, I think I came back a little sooner before him, but
wow.
But I mean, it's been awesome. I've had a great career, and I'm excited to get down to Fort Worth.
Love it, man. Love it. I'm going to take you guys around the horn, and then I'm going to end it with Mike taking you guys around the horn. Okay. He's been asking the question about barbecue. I'm going to stick with it because, like, why not, right? Who doesn't love some good barbecue? So, Cody, I'm going to start with you, man. I'm going to start with you. I know we got a little bit of skinnier guys on here. I know Jordan's packing on a little bit, but I'm going to start with you, Cody. What is the premier barbecue? Is there something that you're looking forward to seeing down there in Texas?
Oh, you're stealing my question, Ryan.
I just said I was. Shut up. Go ahead.
Oh, wow.
I've had the Texas style brisket up here in PA, so I'm looking forward to trying that out down there. I like ribs as well, so I know you guys are going.
Yes.
I guess I'll sit in the fence and try to please you both.
Love it. Love it. Let's go to Arthur. Arthur, there is correct answers. There is wrong answers here, sir. What would you say is something that you're looking forward to?
So I'm going to just go with, like he said, I spent a lot of time in my life in Texas, so I know everybody down there brags on their brisket, so I at least got to try the brisket to see what they're talking about, but I think the ribs is what's going
Yes.
The ribs will probably set it off.
Yes. Yes.
I want to know
Jordan.
your answer for that question too, since you said it's
Yeah,
right.
everybody's copying the same answer, so I'm gonna go with barbecue chicken. That's what I'm gonna go
that's a
with.
close second.
Let's
Switch it up a little bit.
I love it. I love it. So, are we talking pulled chicken? Or are we talking you're just marinating some chicken out there?
Just marinate some chicken. There's some barbecue sauce on there. You can't go wrong with that. So it's got to be down there.
Love it, man. I love it. I respect that answer. Mike, take us around the horn to end this time again. Joined by Arthur Anderson, Cody Gustafson, and Jordan Kennedy. Kennedy. Got it.
No worries.
No, real quick, guys. I've asked this before. What's the one thing that you're looking forward to on your draft process in your pro career? Like, what's the one thing that you're excited that you're going to experience for the first time?
Who do you want to start with?
Let's start with Arthur.
Sorry, he's new to this, guys. Don't pay attention to him.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just excited to get down there around the different talent. I played at the NAIA level, so I mean, there's a lot of knocks. Since it's not necessarily NCAA, there's a lot of questions about the talent and stuff like that. So I'm just excited to go and compete versus people from all divisions and show that there is a lot of talent in the NAIA and make those connections and get involved with some of those different guys.
That's awesome. How about you, Jordan?
I think this process is kind of just like high school recruiting again. It's kind of bringing me back to my junior days, going out to camps and competing against guys. And I'm just excited for this process. Me and my dad have been traveling around Wisconsin, all over states, going to camps. It's another opportunity for me to showcase, my abilities and show the scouts what I can do and what I can provide for somebody's team.
Awesome. And Cody, let's finish it off with you, the PAC killer.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just really excited to get to play against some bigger talent in this process. I'm playing at the Division III level. A lot of talent there, but not quite the talent that you're going to see in the NFL. And I'm really excited to get to showcase my ability against some of these bigger named players.
Awesome. Love it.
Well, fellas, appreciate you for hopping on, man. We'll see you guys in less than a week. Stay safe travels, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Thank you,
Ryan.
All right, Mike, we're catching up here, man. I think we're almost at the scheduled times now, which is awesome. Going to bring on a couple guys. I know one that was waiting patiently. Shedrick, my biggest apologies, man. I just saw your email as I'm working through some guys. My deepest deepest apologies for making you wait there. Going to bring on Josh Sokol. Sokol is how you pronounce it, right? Sokol?
Sokol, yep.
Sokol. Oh, man, I went back and forth, and I you ever do that
Come
thing where you like
on,
overthink
Ryan.
it? You just overthink it. You knew it, right? Like I knew it. But joined here by Shedrick Kirk, who is a defensive back out of Kentucky Wesleyan. 5 interceptions and 7 pass breakups in 2021. Josh out of Sacred Heart, 3-time All-NEC selection, has been a very talented football player over there for several years. I think we have Jalen Poe that should be popping on here in a second. Hopefully, we'll kind of get his story. Oh, here he is. Maybe. There he is. Jalen, how are you, brother?
Nice.
Good. How are you?
We got Jalen Poe, of course, who is a good defensive back out of Western Illinois, 44 tackles and an interception in 2021. Thank you guys so much, especially you, Shedrick. Again, my apologies for taking so long to get you in. I didn't know that there was a limit on how many guys you can keep backstage. So there we are. We kind of learned on the way. So we're going to start with you, man. For people maybe that haven't watched Kentucky Wesleyan, maybe aren't around the program too much, describe yourself as a football player. What you think is going to set you apart down in Fort Worth, Texas?
Honestly, I feel like my passion for the game. I'm a hard worker. And I take pride in defense and like not letting too many people get catches on me, not letting anyone, honestly. So I feel like that'll set me apart. Very physical, and I just love the game. So that's what it is.
Love it. Josh, I want to go over you, man. Who obviously you've been a guy that has played a ton of football. Talk to me a little bit about the versatility that you have. Have you been practicing, everything from snapping, both guards? Like, what has kind of your preparation been for the event?
Yeah, just working out. And then I played center my whole career at Sacred Heart. And then the last 7 games, the right guard went down, and I just had to switch positions. So I switched to right guard, and that was a lot of fun. We didn't really pull at the center position, but pulling at guard, it's a blast. But yeah, snapping, the normal stuff, just getting ready to play.
I love it, man. I love it. And going now over to Jalen. Jalen, I know your team, and I know that you obviously, as a starting defensive player, you're playing against a scout team offense more often than not. But you got a couple fantastic players over on that offense, Dennis Houston, and a lot of great talented players. What's it like just seeing that offense? Because I know we also have your quarterback coming down, which I'm sure that you're probably excited about. But what was it like just kind of playing against some next level talent in practice?
So, I mean, our receiver core is, I think, one of the best in the country. So going against them every day when you do 7-on-7s is pretty good. Gets you ready for the next opponent, because we're probably never seeing wide receivers like that. So, and then our quarterback really sling it. So that really prepares too. So it was really good going against that.
Yeah, man, I really like Connor a lot. I'm excited to get Connor Sampson down to CGS to see what he can do. I want to take you guys around the horn, and then I'm going to let Mike end us with another round the horn. So, Mike, get your question ready, okay?
Okay.
Who are some of the best players off the top of your head that maybe you have gone against in your career? Shedrick, I'm going to start with you. Like, who's a guy for you that was a good challenge on your level?
I would say some of my teammates. One, Brendan McGuire. Then this guy named Marlon, he played for Finley. He was a nice receiver. And then, honestly, my little brother, he plays receiver too. And he got it all. So every day we're working against each other and bettering each other. So, yeah.
Love it. Love it. And let's go over now. Let's go over to you, Josh. Who's a guy that maybe stands out as some of the best competition you played against?
Probably in the playoff game we played Holy Cross. All-American linebacker, Dobbs, Deanne, Whitley. Like, there's a lot of dudes on that defense that are pretty good. And then, obviously my teammates, as previously said, but so I mean, we played a lot of good people. I've been playing for a little bit, so there's been a lot of good talent on the other side of the ball.
And Jalen, I know probably one of your answers is going to be Dennis Houston and a couple of the other wide receivers, but maybe who is you can name obviously your teammates if you would like, but who's a guy that maybe stands out as a good challenge for you?
So we play Eastern Washington, third game of the season. Their quarterback, Barry, he's really good. He was a really mate. Michael Lawson, probably one of the best safeties I played with.
Love it. Love it. And Mike, if you want to take us around the horn for your
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, do it. Oh, I wonder what it is.
Hey, it's been working. We're getting different answers. So we're all heading down to Texas, fellas. What's your favorite barbecue you're most looking forward to? Josh, let's start with you, man.
You're not allowed to ask this one the next time anyway. But go ahead. Sorry.
I'm going to ask it all day because that's what I'm most excited about going to Texas.
I'm from Massachusetts, so we only got barbecue up here, but probably like wings, to be honest.
Oh, wow. That's our first wings. Okay.
I respect that. Let's who do you want to go to next?
Let's go, Jalen. What do you got?
Looking forward to ribs, barbecue chicken, and some brisket.
Yes.
Brisket's fine, but I'm maintaining. Ribs are overrated. Last one. Let's go to Shedrick. Shedrick, there is a right answer. There's a wrong answer. I think you know this by now. Got it.
Man, honestly, I'm from Mississippi, so I love barbecue. I love good food. So ribs, chicken, anything like it's.
Let's go.
I really don't eat brisket,
Let's
but
go.
Ribs, chicken, yeah. It's all.
All right, well, we're going to have to end it there, fellas. Again, I'm going to show you some good barbecue, Shedrick, when we get down there, man. But I appreciate you guys so much. Talk to you very soon. Safe travels. Be safe, and we'll see you soon, okay?
Yes, sir.
See.
All right, Mike. Mike, there's a lot of Rib fans here, man. I don't know if I like this group anymore. I don't know. I was really pumped up about this group, and then they started talking about ribs too much. You know what I'm saying? But
that's my question.
I'm going to bring on a few more guys. What is your favorite anyway? Is ribs actually your favorite? Like what?
Yes,
What are you
ribs, and then brisket's a close second.
Oh, brisket's a close second. Interesting. All right, we're going to bring on some very talented football players. One guy that I think is probably near the top as far as like the most versatile players. Got Isaac Weaver out of Old Dominion, who has had 48 starts in his Old Dominion career, has played left tackle, offensive guard, and inside at center. Jamie, say your last name for me real quick so I do not butcher it, please, sir.
Poe.
Jamie Poe. Oh, that's so
Yes,
easy,
sir.
man. Like I could have done that. All right. Jamie Poe, we got kicker out of Hardin Simmons, 28 out of 26 on field goals in his career, including 271 career points. So obviously a highly decorated career there. We got Quentin Harrison, wide receiver out of Cal Poly, is also joining the show with us. Isaac, want to start with you because I think that the versatility that you have is just, I mean, you can't honestly calculate how important that is for NFL evaluators, especially early on. The ability to back up multiple positions, to take snaps, to do everything inside and out. How much do you think your versatility is a big selling point for you?
I really think it's a huge point. And if I'm being honest with you, I think it's the biggest selling point for me. Just being able to have that ability to play anywhere across the line of scrimmage is huge. And it's something that I'm really thankful that my coaches at ODU pushed me to do. It's something that we kind of had to do. And it really opened up everything on our offensive line. It allowed us to get the best five out there as much as we possibly could all the time. And I think that's just kind of the thing that I'll bring to the table, where I end up going, and especially at this game. So it's hard to say exactly how important I do think it actually is.
Yeah, no, man. Like I said, man, it's almost impossible to quantify because teams just find it so important, obviously. And Jamie, I want to go over to you because when you look at just like the field goal percentage and all the things that you did in college, you have to be one of the more accurate kickers probably coming into the 2022 NFL draft. Just what are you trying to prove down when you go to College Gridiron Showcase? Like, what are some things that you really want to get across to evaluators?
I just think, at the end of the day, as a Division III guy, kicking the ball is not too different going up a level. So just proving that I can be that level of consistent. I think a lot of professional teams are looking for guys that they can rely on. And I'm not going to trot back there and hit anything from 60. That's not my forte. But I feel like I'm going to make money from 53, 54 and in. And I think when you need it, I can give it. So. I'm just trying to be a consistent guy and a guy that people feel comfortable throwing out there on fourth down.
I love it, man. Great answer. And Mike, I'm going to ask you to bring us around the horn. Quentin, I know you have some length to you, man. You're a little bit of a longer receiver. Stylistically, like, is somebody maybe that you would compare yourself a little bit to, or just kind of stylistically, what do you feel like it makes you a good football player?
Okay, that's a great question. Can you hear me, by the way?
Yep, you're good to go.
Okay, well, I have to shoot for the stars, and I compare myself to Julio Jones. Great size, can do a little bit of everything from the receiver position. Great blocker, great deep threat, great with the ball in his hands on screens, short, intermediate passes. So I would say Julio Jones.
Love it, man. And then let's go to Mike. You have one ready for us?
I do, yeah.
Oh, go ahead. If you have one ready, go ahead.
No, I do. Sorry, Ryan. So, hey, real quick, guys, we're going to start with Isaac. You walk into Chipotle, what's your go-to? Isaac, what do you got? Isaac, you there?
It was such a bad question that he froze on us, Mike.
Wow. I like Chipotle, but it's all right.
Jamie, can we go to you on that one? You look like you might be a Chipotle fan.
Yeah, I'm a chicken bowl guy, brown rice, a lot of pico.
I'll go.
Yeah, that's probably me.
A bowl.
All right, and Quentin, I know you're out there obviously in Cal Poly, but do you partake in some Chipotle from time to time?
I just did last night.
There you go. That was a dumb question, Ryan.
That was a dumb question. I'm sorry. That was a really dumb question. What was the order, sir? What was the order?
Burrito, double wrap. I like that thick tortilla texture. Chicken, green sauce, and just everything. Just throw it all in there. Guacamole, sour cream.
I'm going steak bowl, double meat, guacamole, salsa, extra sour cream, extra cheese. We're rocking and rolling, man.
Too much. If you need all that means the food's not that good. Moving on here.
Oh, wow.
Going around the horn here, guys. I think a question that is going to be asked a lot, obviously, is what does the game mean to you? So you can take that from a lot of different areas, right? Like when did you start playing? Just what makes you passionate about the sport? Jamie, I know that's a tough question. A lot of ways that you can take that question, but going to start with you.
Yeah, I just, this is what I've always wanted to do since I was a little kid. And, I'm a Division III guy, so, we didn't get any type of stipend, scholarship, anything like that. So you have to really love ball, to go in every day, to pick up a job and work through the season. That was kind of what we had to do. And that's just what you do because you love it. And I love it for everything about it, but too, just kind of the camaraderie you get in the locker room, the relationships you build with coaches. I think there's no better team sport in the world to play than football. One guy can't win you a whole game. It's got to be a unit. So I think that's what I love about it and what makes it so special.
All right, Quentin, last one for you, my friend.
Same question?
Yes, sir.
What's the game mean to me?
Yeah.
It means everything. Since I was little, I just can't see myself not playing football. I love everything that the game brings, the ups, the downs, the in-betweens. Of course, it's all about winning. And, I've obviously based my life off, going to the NFL, making a career and, starting a foundation in my name to inspire the youth to, show them that they can do anything that they set their mind to as well. So, it means a lot to me and everybody around me as well.
Well, that was great, guys. Really appreciate it. Again, Jamie Pogue, kicker out of Hardin-Simmons, and Quentin Harrison, wide receiver out of Cal Poly. See you guys very soon. Thank you guys so much. Safe travels, okay?
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, man. All right, we got some good guests.
You're a Moe's type of guy, aren't you? You're not Chipotle, huh?
Chipotle more than Moe's, I'd say, personally. But I'm not really like – if I'm gonna get Mexican food, man, like I want some real good Mexican.
Okay, well,
you know
what if you're on,
like,
but I understand that, but what if you're on the go and you don't have time, you know?
Well, I like to cook myself, to be honest with you. Like I like to cook my own food. I like to just do that.
We have our own Gordon Ramsay here, everyone. I forgot.
Can you please stop talking? We'd really
Oh my
appreciate it
gosh.
if you would stop talking, because we have Joshua Terry on, defensive back out of Central Missouri with 28 pass breakups in his career. We got Mr. Bryce Rogers on, defensive lineman out of University of California, Davis, two-time All Big Sky selection. And we got last, but of course, very not least, Jake Dixon, who I know Mike is a big fan of. Offensive tackle out of Duquesne, former tight end and volleyball.
Whip deal, baby.
Crazy.
It's the
Crazy
whip
little
deal.
stat there.
Let's go, Jake.
Jake, I'm going to start here, man, because I have to tell you, in our scouting meetings, Mike has talked about you a ton of times because he's just so intrigued about the tight end, offensive tackle convert, volleyball. Talk to me, though, a little bit about the conversion from tight end to offensive tackle. Obviously, some guys transition a little better. You've been a all-league selection, so obviously you took to that transition very well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, first of all, I love the Whiphill connection that Mike and I have. But yeah, I mean, from the run blocking standpoint, it was pretty much the same type of scheme. And our offense, didn't do a lot of catching the ball. So, a lot of our individual periods and that kind of thing was focused on run blocking. But the thing that, I had to work on the most was getting back in pass pro, defeating some of those bull rushes, the speed to power. It was funny. The second game in the spring was the first game that I was like, there's some real technique that goes into playing this position. It's not just, getting in front of a guy. Like, there's a lot of things you can do with your hands and that kind of thing. And a lot of film study that help you be successful.
Yeah. Now, and you have to block guys like Bryce Rogers over there too, who's a really, really talented player, especially trying to scoop him inside, man. It's a tough time. Bryce, talk to me a little bit about, obviously, two-time all-conference. You've been a very successful player out there at UC Davis. What do you feel like stylistically? Would you categorize yourself as a football player? Are you a one-gap type of player? Are you playing in an odd-man front? Like, what type of defensive lineman are you?
So, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. Yep.
All right, great. I played under three DCs since I've been at Davis, and I played nose. I played a 4-eye. I played 3-tech. I played 2-eye. I played all the positions under the book. I've had success at all those positions. I think I did, in terms of stats-wise, I did have my best season this year, which was playing mostly 3-tech and 1-tech. So, and in terms of running and pass rushing and stuff like that, I don't really have a preference to it. I think that I put my hand in the dirt and I just try to win. But I do see myself as more of a two gapper. I like to be head up, like to play the man, and just get some knockoff, look for the ball and make a play whenever I can.
Love it, man. I love it. And we're going to go over to Joshua Terry. Joshua, I appreciate you also for being so patient behind the scenes. We're a little behind schedule, obviously, but I mentioned 28 pass breakups in your career. Obviously, you were very talented and very productive football player. Defensive-wise, what would you say is your biggest strength as a player?
I'm gonna say my physicality, and I'm gonna say that just because I came in as a safety and I adjusted to corner for 4 years. But I gotta really correct you, man. You say 28 pass breakups, man. I'm at 36 now. I'm at 36 now, man. I'm all-time pass breakup at the University of Central Missouri, man.
Well, you go to the University of Central Missouri, then you go to the roster guy and you tell them that there is some misprints on that roster, okay?
Yes, sir.
I went right to that site, sir. They are selling you short. I'm not selling you short. They are selling you short. I just want to put that out there real quick.
I love it, Ryan.
Central Missouri, though, Joshua, I have to ask this real quick. I believe that is Zach Davidson last year.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Okay. I love Zach, man. I know he showed out in the College Ground Showcase. He became a 5th-round pick by the Minnesota Vikings. Obviously, did very well for himself. Matchup against him, man. I know, obviously, you're probably playing a little more outside than inside, but, what type of cover was he? And in your one-on-one matchups, how did you fare?
Most of the time they put him in that I would know they trying to do a 9 route on me. They want him to go deep. He's not going to do anything short. So, I mean, I just be physical, I be patient and 9 times out of 10, you know, it's a 50-50 ball. So I might be coming down with one, you know. No, but that's one of my close friends, man. Zach Davidson, we got better every day the summer of 2019, man. And it was just like, you know, for me to think that, you know, I was guarding the Minnesota Vikings tight end, you know, I was actually stopping them a little bit. It made me, you know, it gave me that confidence booster, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to go around the horn on this one, and then I'm going to let Mike end with one. Bryce, I want to start with you. What are some things? Obviously, we're working again, just to kind of boast quickly about what they've built at the College Gridiron Showcase. 12 players drafted last year in the 2021 NFL Draft, and the 70 that signed contracts. They're averaging over 130 scouts on site over the last couple of years. What are some things that you are hoping to prove to NFL evaluators next week?
For one, it's just versatility. To be able, I'm gonna try to play as many positions as I can out there, and do my best to perform in front of them. I want them to know that, look, as you know, when Bryce is on the field, he's making a play. We can put him anywhere, he's gonna make a play, and I think that's really what they want to see. I think that's what they appreciate, because especially when you're coming out of a small school like Davis, I feel like the more positions you can play, the more things that you can do, that only raises your stock. So I want them to see that. And I also want to see them see just I want to be able to prove my my pass rushing ability, as well as just being able to be physical in the run game.
I love it. I love it. And same question for you, Jake. What are some things that you want to show to NFL evaluators?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, obviously I've only played tackle for 15 games, but, you know, I want to prove that even though I've only played, you know, the position for a short amount of time, that I still have the skill set and the drive and the talent to compete with, you know, I heard a 5-time all-conference guy, O-lineman, was on here earlier. And, you know, also, again, versatility, being able to play guard. I only have, you know, tackle film, but the ability to move inside and, you know, just showcase that I'm able to play all 5 positions on the line.
I love it. And Joshua Terry, 36 career pass breakups, going to get this right now. Joshua, what are you hoping to prove to NFL evaluators next week?
You know, coming from a D2 conference, man, didn't receive a lot of awards. So, you know, I just want to prove my worth, you know. I want to be able to go out there and, you know, be confident in my skill set, be confident that I could be the best of the best and play with the best of the best. So that's my mentality.
Mm-hmm. Mike, take us around the horn. We're going to get a couple more guys in here. Go for it.
Awesome. So, hey, guys, we're heading down to Texas. What's the one type of barbecue that you're looking forward to eating? And Jake, I'll start with you, man.
Yeah, I like ribs, man.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
It's that Whitfield connection again.
It's that Whitfield connection, man. Ryan doesn't understand it, Jake. Doesn't understand it.
I never will either.
People do.
No. People don't. They will never will. All right, let's go around. Who's next? Who's next?
Let's go to Bryce. Bryce is in the trenches. Go ahead, Bryce.
You know, my dad barbecues a decent amount. You know, I'm always looking forward to it. The 2 things that he barbecues a lot are ribs and chicken. So, you know, I'm a base what I think Texas barbecue is off of that comparison with my dad's food.
Chicken saved you, Bryce. Chicken saved you. Joshua, last one, man. What do you got?
Man, I'm gonna say ribs, man. I'm down here in Texas already with my pops. And he loves ribs, so that's what we eat.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Right. I just like making Ryan pissed off, so it's okay.
It's all right, man. It's all right. Mike's gonna be so upset with me when I get down to CGS, so it's fine. Guys, appreciate it. Again, joined by Joshua Terry, Jake Dixon, and Bryce Rogers. Thank you all so much. I'll see you just in a few days now, man.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Look forward to it, man. Thank you.
See ya.
Absolutely. See you guys. All right, Mike, I feel like you're paying these guys off before they come on, man. Like you're telling them what to say. It's a little weird, honestly, but we'll keep going here. We'll keep on. Are you frozen, Mike? Are you frozen right now?
I am not. No, sorry.
Oh, you're just looking down at your phone, apparently, is what you're doing right now. It's a little odd. Moving on, guys. I'm sorry. I know Mike's very embarrassing, but appreciate it's now putting on.
I am.
couple more talented football players. Hopefully we get a couple cameras on if we can there. Bernard, not sure. But we got Kevin Ventura Cortez, who is joined now this set. He is a tight end out of Concordia, St. Paul, former Abilene Christian transfer. Kevin, when I take a look just a little bit at the at your skill sets, I see the size obviously that pops off the screen a little bit. For a person evaluator, a media member who has not seen you play, has not seen your style, like how would you categorize yourself as a tight end?
Oh man, I don't even know where to start. I would like to first and foremost, I want to say that I'm a hybrid. I'm not defined as an inline guy. I'm not defined as a wingback. I'm not defined as one position player. Me personally, whether I'm on a backside cutoff or a front side on the line scrimmage, a reach block, or if I'm running a route, split wide on my own, I think I could do a little bit of all. So I think, unfortunately, my stat line doesn't speak much volume for the past 2 seasons at Concordia St. Paul. But I would like to say that people who have never seen me play before, they're going to see me looking for work. They're going to see me looking for work, whether it's down the line blocking for my quarterback on the run. You're going to see me fighting first down. So that's one thing I pride myself in is, I may not get the rock as much, even though, you may see me open, you may not see me open. I'll go block for my teammate. We'll make a play on special teams, block the shield, whatever I got to do, it is what it is.
Love it, man. I love it. And Bernard, we got you in here. Bernard McCall out of Livingston. We have a tight end connection in here, Bernard. I kind of want to phrase the question same as I did for Kevin. How would you describe your style as a tight end? I know that you've kind of been playing a little bit all over the place, a little bit in the slot, out wide, like doing a lot of different things. How would you kind of just describe yourself as a player?
I think to describe me, period, is like positionless because I've been in the backfield, out wide, in the slot. So, I can do it all.
Love it, man. Love it. And what are some things that you guys are hoping to prove when you go down there? I know, Kevin, you already talked about, a little bit of the lack of production maybe in the passing game, even though you probably are capable of a lot more. Like, I'm going to start with you, Kev. What are some things that you want to prove down in Fort Worth?
First of all, I want to prove that I belong and that I'm worthy of a second invitation to get my invite extended. So that's first and foremost, and also that I am more than what a stat line shows. That I'm worth the opportunity, I'm worth the shot, I'm worth the risk, I'm worth everything that is on a sheet of paper and more. So
awesome, man, awesome. And Bernard, same question to you. What are some things that you want to prove down in Fort Worth?
Just like what he said, I'm more than what the stat line showed. I was double teamed a lot this season, so of course a smart quarterback go away from the double team. I just want to show that, I could play in the trenches with the big boys, and I also can get out there and play around with the DBs as well. So I just want to prove that to everybody.
Awesome. And Mike, I'm going to let you go around the horn here in a second. Trying to get Keyshawn Walker on. Keyshawn, let me know if you can hear me because I cannot see your video, but try to remedy on your end if you can. Mike, take us around the horn though. What's something?
Yeah, absolutely. So real quick, we'll start by asking this. Throughout this draft process, it's a whole new thing for everyone. What's the most important thing that you're looking forward to? Bernard, I'll start with you throughout this draft process.
Entire draft process. Yep.
I think really just enjoying the experience for me.
Yeah.
That's really it for me because, where I come from, a lot of people don't get to experience this. So I think, seeing places that I probably would have never seen, like this is probably my first time coming to Texas.
Okay.
So just really enjoying the process. And of course, I've been playing football my whole life. So just being that close.
Yeah.
That's
everything I've wanted.
And last question I have for you guys, and we'll let you get out of here. Really appreciate the time. I want to know role models that you guys have. So you can take this from multiple ways. This could be a role model as a football player. It could be a role model in your life, a coach, whatever it might be. Kevin, I'm going to start with you and end with Bernard. What would you say are a couple of role models you have in your life?
Man, this will always be my number one answer. Is my go-to is my mother. I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be who I am without her. She's a single mom household, and she set the example for me, right? And just going back to it, I want to be a role model for her throughout the whole draft process, just as Mike was mentioned, for my little brothers, my people back home who come from small schools or Hispanic background like myself. So definitely, it's an honor, and I'm blessed and I'm grateful. And, I just want to give a shout out to my mama. I love her with all my heart.
Love that, man. Love that. Bernard, last question for you, man. Just some role models that you have in your life.
For me, it's gonna be my mom and my aunt. Two strong women. I've had them, only those two, my whole life, and they've shown me that no matter how things look, anything is possible if you put your head down and work hard for it. So I appreciate them for that.
Love it, man. Love it. Well, fellas, we'll see you very soon. Excited for you guys to experience Fort Worth, experience College Gridiron Showcase. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes here.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
All right. So now we are moving on. And if you guys can hear me backstage, I know we're a little behind. Trust me, we're trying to catch up to the top, but appreciate everybody for just taking a few minutes and staying patient behind the scenes. Going to welcome in now Mr. Jordan Myers, running back, tight ends, H-back, whatever you want to kind of phrase him as, out of Rice University. Obviously a very talented football player, to say the least. Got Mr. Quez Jackson, who's been a star linebacker out of Georgia Tech over the last couple of years as well. We got Mr. Brian Atkins, who is a defensive back out of Central Missouri, bringing on two defensive guys and then the guy that everybody wants to tackle. I want to start with you, though, a little bit here, Jordan, because you're a guy that's really intriguing to me, because I think you're listed as a tight end sometime during your career. I know you have a lot of production, over 900 yards receiving, leading rusher, and a lot of production, but you're a guy that I'm really interested in seeing in person, because I think that you're going to be a guy that a lot of NFL scouts are going to kind of try to figure out, where does he fit? What's his best role? If I had to ask you just maybe what you feel like is your best role as a football player, what would you say?
Best role, definitely just be at H-back, having that ability to be in the backfield, have experience with blocking, people who are 300 pounds, getting up to the linebackers, working my way up, staying locked on to DBs as well, and also having the ability to get out of the backfield and make plays with my hands, because I think that's probably one of my best attributes, is having the ability to not only, run a good route, but, make good plays, make good catches, and, doing what I need to do to either get the first down, touchdown, or, keep the chains moving.
Love it. And Quez, I want to go over to you, man, because you're a guy that I've been extremely impressed with on that Georgia Tech defense from the second level. Like, you're a guy that just kind of gets all over the field and does a lot of great things for that team. What would you say is your style as a player? Like Will, Sam, Mike, like what do you feel like is your best position at the next level?
I really feel like, more for my body type, I probably play better being on the outside, but I'm kind of interchangeable. I feel like I can play all three. And I don't know, this year we changed our defense a little bit and it allowed me to be a little bit more aggressive. And I play with a lot of like aggression and like pursuit to the ball. Like, this is my number one objective, is pursuit to the ball. You always got to be around the ball if you want to be one of the good linebackers.
And I want to ask you, because I'm right outside of Philadelphia, and obviously Coach Collins spent some time at Temple and did a great job. I know he's obviously, I know it was a little bit of a down year, but I feel like there's a lot of optimism every time I've talked to somebody from Georgia Tech. Just your impressions on and the kind of the culture that Coach Collins is building down at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, before he got here, that was kind of one of the big questions around in our locker room, was our culture. That's something that we felt like needed to be improved on if we wanted to be a successful team. And I feel like he definitely came in here and kind of like amped up our culture, and he kind of developed us more as men, and to be great fathers and all that type of stuff. Like, he kind of changed the culture in that aspect. And, man, he helped us in ways that, I can't even describe. And, later down the line of my life, I'll be like, I needed that. And I'm just real thankful for what, he was able to, give our program, as far as that aspect.
I love it. And Brian, I think for me, I think that you're a guy that's pretty versatile. You can kind of do a lot of things in the back end. What do you feel like are some of your strongest points as a player?
I feel like my playmaking ability and my ball tracking, because I played wide receiver most of my life, so I have really good ball skills. I go up and get it. I can come downhill and get it either way. I can come down and hit too, weighing 210, being 6'1", so I feel like I can be very versatile wherever.
Love it. I love it. And I want to go around because I'm going to ask Mike to kind of end it, guy, because I really appreciate all the time you're giving us. And I appreciate the just the patience behind the scenes because I know it's been a little backed up. But I want to start. I'm going to probably start with Brian here. Then I'm going to go back to Jordan. Then I'm going to end with Quez. Want to ask about who are some players that maybe you model your game after a little bit? Like who are some of your guys? It could be past, growing up. It could be now. Like who are some guys that you try to model your game after a little bit?
When I was younger, I used to watch a lot of Ed Reed. So he's a defensive back I watch all the time. Eddie Jackson, not the Eddie Jackson this year, but the Eddie Jackson of the past was a guy that I looked up to. We actually have the same trainer back at home. And he's a guy that I've been looking up to as well. And Derwin James is also another guy as well, being a bigger safety in the box, out the box.
I love it, man. I don't know what's happened to Eddie over the last couple of years, man, but he was a ball hawk his first couple. But that's another conversation for another day. Jordan, I'm interested in your answer, man, because like again, you've played running back, you've played H, you kind of Swiss Army knife on offense a little bit. Who are some of your guys?
Yeah, so right now, definitely somebody who I have a lot of respect for as a football player is Taysom Hill. I think somebody like him who has that ability to be somebody that the team can depend on to step up and do whatever is needed to be done in order to make the team better. That's something that I take a lot of pride in, especially my college career. So definitely Taysom Hill and understanding that you can be anywhere you need to be in order to, make a big impact for the team.
Can you throw the ball? I need to hear it.
No, we'll go ahead.
Okay.
I can throw it, but I haven't got the opportunity to. But.
Gotcha. And Quez, last one for you, man. Who's some of your guys?
I think more today's game. I watch a lot of Darius Leonard film. I feel like we all have like a lot in common. We don't have the prototypical body types, but we play bigger than we are, and that's what I watch a lot of his film. And back in the old days, I watched a lot of Mike Singletary. That's kind of what I grew up on because my granddad was a big Mike Singletary guy, and I watched all the tape. So really, like as far as the leadership aspect and the film watching, I get all that from Mike Singletary.
I love that one, man. Those eyes, right? Like zooming in on Mike
telling you.
Singletary. Oh, God. I would not want to play against him. Mike, take us around the horn, my friend.
All right, awesome. So last but not least, okay, I know Ryan's been, disagreeing with me all day. We're heading down to Texas, fellas. What's the one barbecue that you're looking forward to eating? Jordan, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, being right here in Houston, Texas, I always have access to some good barbecue, man. But it's usually either going to be some ribs or brisket that usually get me going.
Let's go. You said ribs, Ryan.
Yeah, all of it's good, man. But ribs and brisket are definitely the go-to any place I go.
I wasn't listening. Sorry, Jordan. Didn't hear what you said. Quez, next up.
Hey, I gotta go, my man. It's the briskets. It's the briskets for me, man, for sure.
Oh man, you guys need to learn. You need to learn. Brian, what are you cooking up?
Gotta be the ribs, man. I'm from Chicago. We don't have that many rib places, but
let's go.
I go to the South. I gotta get good ribs.
Away from barbecue for a second. Are you a deep dish fan, Brian? You gotta be, right?
Deep dish, Portillo's fan.
Oh, nice. Love it, man. All right, fellas. Well, appreciate you guys for hopping on. Only a couple of days away from the big event, but thank you all so much, and we'll see you very soon, okay?
For sure.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, fellas.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. All right. So, again, Brian Atkins there. We had Mr. Jordan Myers and a lot of talented players, man.
We're coming down to the final stretch run, right, Ryan?
I don't know, man. There's a lot of guys that are still waiting to go here. I'm going to start bringing some guys on. I want to bring on Maurice Brewer, Maurice, I know that you were waiting for a while, and I think you might have got kicked at one point. That was completely my fault, but I appreciate you for being so patient behind the scenes. Defensive lineman out of Defiance, 42 total tackles, 10.5 tackles for loss this past season. Going to bring on DeAndre Washington, tight end out of Arkansas, Monticello. It's been a very good player over the last couple of years. And I'm going to bring on Justin Chase, who is an offensive lineman out of East Carolina, another guy that I think had trouble getting behind stage. Justin, I appreciate your flexibility and appreciate the persistence, man. I know it's been a little crazy trying to fit so many people in, fellas, but appreciate you all for dropping in. I guess, Maurice, since you had the first time with us and we finally got you on, I want to ask, because I don't know this, and I would love the backstory here. So listed at 6'5", 260 defensive lineman, right? But I think that I came across that you also ran sprints for the college. Is this correct?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, you got to give me some backstory there, man, because you don't see a lot of guys 6'5", 250 running sprints. Give me something there, man.
So but let me do sprints. After football season ended, I wanted to keep my agility and my speed. So I just did track for fun to like take some of the pressure off, and I turned out to be really good. I like the competition, so it fed me to be faster and keep working towards that goal. And like I kept beating my goal every year, so I just kept with it.
I love that. I had to mention that, Maurice, because I'm a former track and field and football coach, so I love the dual sport guys. And I was a thrower coach, but like I saw that sprinting background. I'm like, that's crazy, man. That's awesome. Justin, wanted to go over to you because you're out of ECU, East Carolina. Got the opportunity to talk to Deontay Smith last year, and I believe that you were taking over the left tackle position that he left vacated. Talk to me about just kind of learning behind such a very talented football player and the successful season that you were able to have in 2021.
Oh yeah, Deontay is probably one of the. We all know he's a great player on the field, but off the field, probably one of the best stand-up dudes you'll meet. Definitely, you know, you want somebody who will always keep it real with you, no matter where. So being able to learn from him and getting into being able to play in such a late time in my career. And then learning that from him and then from my coach, Coach Shank, it's really led to a great season that I've had this year. We actually made it to our first bowl game in the last, I want to say, 7 years.
Yep.
And had some pretty remarkable wins going down to Navy, first time beating them in such a long time. And then just having the season that we all wanted to from the beginning. So definitely the camaraderie with the team, and then from learning from not just Deontay, but just the whole offensive line. You could tell everybody just was tired of losing and wanted to get back to that place of winning. And really when you can start learning from each other and not just learning from the coaches, but actually learning from each one of your teammates, that's when you're going to get better and have the season like we had this year.
Absolutely, man. That's very well said. And I want to go over to DeAndre because you're a guy that I've had been on my radar for a couple years. And I feel like a lot of the ability that you have to kind of be in a move guy, to take advantage of mismatches, maybe work in the slot a little bit, kind of line up all over the place. Just talk to me a little bit about the versatility you have, DeAndre, as a tight end that maybe could do multiple things in an offense.
I believe that's like one of the best things you can have on the team is a guy. You have that one guy, man, that can do anything. Also, like with defense, you want to have that hybrid linebacker that can play safety. Also, they can play in the run game, and also things like that. For me, just having that wide receiver background. I mean, had background wide receiver in high school, deals like that. So that really kind of helped me when I transitioned tight end because I felt like, I mean, that's something you've been doing. You do something your whole life, and you're doing the transition. I mean, that's natural. That's something you can do natural. And with me going to tight end, focus some on the more running concept, blocking concept, just getting technique right there. And when anything like that in the passing game, I mean, it's like second nature to me.
Awesome, man. And Justin, I want to go back over to you, and then I'm going to ask Mike to kind of take us around the horn here for a second. You're a guy that obviously has played a lot outside. What has kind of the preparation been for the event? Have you been taking snaps, working inside a guard a little bit? Like, what has just kind of the workouts been like for you?
The workouts have been, since we really just came off of our bowl week, and we've been able to practice through that whole time, and I play both. Even though I started at the left side, I'll play maybe half of the game during right tackle. So just being able to keep my conditioning up, keep the strength going, and really just being able to take sets everywhere so that when I'm getting down there that it won't feel foreign if I have to move back into the inside like I've played, and just to keep being able to be that player that can play one side, one snap, play another side, one snap, go inside, one snap, or go back outside. So that's really what the workout's been looking like.
Love it. Love it. And Mike, if you want to take us around the horn, we'll get these fellas out of here.
Absolutely, fellas. We're heading to Texas. Changing up a little bit. What's the barbecue that you're looking forward the most at eating? Let's start with let's go with Justin. Let's start with you, man.
Oh, ribs for sure.
Oh man, let's
go.
Let's
It's nothing like that beef ribs. Oh yeah.
Let's go.
It's not even a question.
Let's go. DeAndre, what do you got?
I gotta go with Justin. I gotta go with the ribs, man. The real ain't nothing like some homemade rib.
Let's
Like
go, dude. You're pissing Ryan off so much, and I love it.
I'm fine, man. I'm not flustered at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
And last but not least, what do you got here, Maurice?
I mean, I gotta have the ribs, the meat falling off the bone type style.
Did we did a clean sweep? We did a clean sweep, fellas, against Ryan, who's he likes brisket and chicken and
hush puppies and mac and cheese and
it's
all
the
the
ribs,
good stuff,
man.
man.
It's the
All the
ribs.
good stuff. Well, fellas, appreciate you guys for hopping on, man. Only a few days away from meeting you guys finally in person, but thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
All right, Mike, you need to come up with a new question, man. You're done. I'm cutting you off on that question.
Why is
I don't
that,
wanna hear
Ryan?
about it anymore. Because it's boring, man. Like, this is not good TV right now. It's not good TV.
They're lighting it up, but I do apologize. I'm gonna have to run out of here soon. But
oh man, you're just leaving us, man. That's crazy right now. Especially when we have your guy, the guy that you've been hyping up for years, and the guy that I've known about for years, and we've kind of gone back and forth a little bit, giving him a little bit of, just advice and all that type of stuff. As I know, obviously with COVID and impact and everything, Eric Hansen, of course, talking about, who's been a dynamic player to say the least.
game record.
20 tackles for loss this past year, 8.5 sacks after I think 12.5 sacks, somewhere in that ballpark, 19 TFLs, if I remember correctly, in 2019. Also got Jeremy Dominique on, who is out of Charleston, 40 tackles in 2021. Hopefully we get one more fellow on here, Damarin Mitchell, if he can hear me, try to pop on here in a second. But Eric, want to kind of invite you into the conversation here, man. You're obviously a guy that I feel like has a lot of nuance to his game. I see a lot of different techniques with your hands. I see a rush variance. What would you say describes you as not only a pass rusher, but also just a football player?
I would say I'm just really relentless, especially my pass rusher shows. I have a high motor, so like getting to the quarterback is just like my ultimate goal. So I'll find a way to do that pretty much every play.
I love it. And Jeremy, if I could pop over to you, defensive back wise, what type of player are you? Are you playing out there in safety? Are you playing outside a corner? Can you do a little bit of everything? Like, what is your style?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing in my style is definitely my versatility. Anybody who's ever coached me would tell you that, and that was something that we did with our defense. I was playing on all three levels, so you had me. I was our free safety, so spent a lot of time short of the back end and either deep coverage, quarters. I was coming down covering in man. I was in a blitz game. a lot. That showed with my TFL stats and my sack stats. So, I definitely say that versatility is probably at the heart of my game because I just pride myself. I'm somebody with a corner background who came into college playing corner, but my aggressive downhill style. I live to hit people. That's there's no feeling like it. But with my a lot of things on the defense. So that's definitely a big part of my game for sure.
I love it, man. And finally able to get Damarin Mitchell on here. It was another talented defensive back out of Colorado Mesa. 8 interceptions, 19 pass breakups in his career. Also an AFCA All-American second-team selection, a part of the Marshall group that we have coming here. Damarin, appreciate you for I know there was a little bit of technical issues behind the scenes a little bit, man, but excited to have you on. Kind of the same question I just asked Jeremy, Damarin. If you can just kind of just fill us in on, like, stylistically speaking, what do you feel like makes you a standout football player?
My versatility. I can play because I started off at Louisiana Lafayette at corner. I played corner my sophomore year. I played nickel and safety. So I feel like my versatility can be a changing factor with any team, with anyone. So I
love it, man. I love it. And I'm going to ask, because we're a little behind, but I'm going to ask Mike to send us around the horn in just a second. Eric, I used to play defensive end, man, so I love talking with other defensive linemen because there's always that go-to move, man, whether it's ghost or your club rip or you're hitting an inside counter. spin, whatever you're working with, man, what is your move? What would you say is your go-to?
Well, hopefully all the offensive linemen at the CGS aren't listening right now. But I would say I like doing the stab chop. That's my move. It's a good change up for me. It's just probably my favorite.
Love it.
And
Love
Mike,
it.
if you want to take us around, go ahead.
All right, here we go, guys. All right, so changing it up a little bit here for Ryan. So, Eric, we'll start with you, man. All right, if you had to pick one of these three, we got Moe's, we got Chipotle, or we got Chick-fil-A. Which one you going with?
What I had tonight, Chipotle. It's my favorite.
My man, let's go. Let's keep it going. Who's up next? Brian, pick one.
Let's go to Eric.
Eric just went.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Chipotle.
I'm sorry, Chipotle. Oh, I'm sorry, Eric. I thought I liked you before that, so you said the wrong answer. So I kind of. Demerit, if you would give us your answer, sir.
I'll say Chick-fil-A.
Good answer. Man of culture right there. Man of culture. Mr. Demerit Mitchell is a man of culture. Jeremy, if we can end with you, sir.
I'd probably say Chipotle.
Let's go.
So you had to write 2 letters there. The sounded great, man, and then you just went off the rails a little bit.
Let's go.
I appreciate it. I appreciate Mike for finally, asking a different question. It's fantastic. But, guys, safe travels in a couple days. I know you'll be out there. College Gridiron Showcase, obviously down in Fort Worth. We will see you very soon. Jeremy, I think you're already down there, so I will see you all very soon. Yes. Stay safe, and look forward to seeing you all compete, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Ryan, I think that's that time that I must bid you adieu, man.
Oh, man, Mike, you're really leaving me before, there are like 15 minutes left, and you're leaving me, man. You're leaving me.
I apologize, but hey, I appreciate everything you do.
Oh, do you? That's good.
Hello, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you? McKenna.
I'm fine.
How are you, man?
I'm fine. How are you? I'm great. I'm great.
I'm going to stay on for McKenna.
You should, man. You have to. You have to do this, okay? We're gonna take on a couple more guys here real quick, okay? So let's go around the horn. Again, I'm gonna say this. I apologize. I'm not gonna butcher your last name because I'm not going to pronounce it correctly. So can you pronounce your name and your school? We'd love to.
My name is Ikena Onwusayan.
Awesome. Okay. Mike, can you say that last name that he just said?
I heard Ikena, so we're good. We're there.
I'm sorry, man. I've been butchering names all night. I just wanted to make sure I didn't butcher yours for you.
My name is Ikena Onwusayan from CSU Pueblo, and I play D-line.
Awesome, man. We got outside of Ikena, we also have Mr. Ian Friday, who is a tight end by trade at Adams State, but he's going to be playing some fullback as well down at the College Gridiron Showcase. That's right. We got Mr. Andrew Whitaker, who's a defensive back out of Washington University, 46 tackles and 4 interceptions in 2021. Andrew, I want to start with you, man. Well, I looked up the stats. I looked up the body frame. You're obviously a long, athletic corner. Talk to me a little bit about your stylistically, what sets you apart as a player.
Yeah, I'm Andrew Whitaker. Stylistically sets me apart is I'm a lockdown corner. What really helps comes from my speed. I'm a 6-time track All-American, and speed kills, especially on the outside. And another thing is my leadership is just when I'm on the field with my teammates, it's like everybody gets better. And I'm the detail-oriented and like being competitive. That's key to me.
Love it, man. And Ian, I want to go over you because I know you obviously had a very productive receiving season, 38 receptions for over 400 yards, playing more obviously as a receiver in the pass game, going to be asked to do some fullback stuff. Talk to me a little bit about the versatility you have to be able to play a little in line, detached a little bit at fullback, and the ability that you guys have to be versatile.
Yeah, that's definitely like the name of my game right there. Being able to go out in the slot and then come in and got to down block a D end or dig out a D end, whatever it's asked. And I did that every play of every season where just going out for a pass and then come back and got to blow someone up. That's just the name of my game now.
I love it, man. I love it. And we We have a couple former Adams State alums coming down, including Tariq Bitson, who is obviously at Tarleton State as well, who is a dynamic player at Adams State as well. I want to go over to you. I can talk to me just a little bit about your style, the defensive lineman. What would you say? Are you a one gap style player, a two gap? Are you an odd man front, even front? Like, what do you feel like kind of describes you best as a player?
And I've played really every defense. I played a 3-4. I played a 4-3. I played the D tackle, the DN, the nose, the 3 tech, the 1 tech. So for me, it's really about where they want to put me at. I play the inside. I play the outside. I just love playing football.
Love it, man. And 17 and a half tackles for loss, 9 sacks in 2021. So obviously a very productive football player. Going to take you guys around the horn and let you, Mike, end you guys here. I want to ask just what is something that you want to show to scouts coming down to Fort Worth? Like, what are some things when you leave the week you want to be known about U.S. football players? Andrew, I'm going to start with you, and then I'll go to Ian, and I'll end it with Ikenna. What is something that you want to prove down in Fort Worth, Texas?
I want to show my physicality, and I want to show my technique. I think there's a lot of different techniques corners can use, especially depending on the receiver they're going against and the situation they're in. And I want to see the versatility, as the word you guys keep using, of how much my technique can change and how my football IQ gives me an advantage in the game.
Love it. Ian, moving over to you.
Just like we've talked about, my versatility, I think I bring a lot to the table, and I look up to Kyle Juszczyk as the kind of the guy that I resemble now, and just being able to do it all and hoping that some team will take interest in that.
Love it. And I kind of move it, ending with you, sir. What is something that you want to prove?
Just being dominant. I want to leave my mark. I think I'm a pretty good defensive line. And I know that I can hang with the best. So that's all.
I love it, man. Love it. And Mike, if you want to end us here, sir.
Absolutely. I'm starting with you, man. You have to pick one of these three, okay? All right. Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, or Moe's. Which one are you going with?
Chick-fil-A.
No!
Yes.
No, come on,
Good job, sir. Good job.
All
Good
right.
job.
Ian, what are you going with?
Chipotle, definitely.
Let's go. Let's go.
Moving on. Andrew, save us.
I'm closed on Sunday, and so is Chick-fil-A.
Yes. He gets it. Man of culture, Andrew Whitaker. Man of culture. Well, fellas, appreciate you all so much. Again, all the patience behind the scenes, all the madness that is going around. I know with a couple days left to figure everything out, but we will talk very soon. Meet you all down in Fort Worth. Safe travels down there, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
fellas.
Thank you.
Ryan, I bid you adieu, my friend.
Man, you are a disappointment, sir. You absolutely are a disappointment. It's crazy.
It was fun.
I thought you were, master whatever, right? Like scouting coordinator or something, director of scouting. You're just leaving. You're leaving your guys that you made this roster, and you're leaving them. That's crazy to me. I'm about to bring on some more talented football players, and you're leaving them. Like I hope that they're upset about this as much as I am. To be honest with you,
Ryan.
Good night, Mike. Good night.
Good night.
A fair due, sir.
See ya.
Yeah. Don't let the door hit you on the way out, okay? You don't even know how to get out of here. Look at you. You're struggling right now. Oh, there he is. All right, he's gone. All right, we're going to bring on some more talented football players. Chima Dunga is how you pronounce it, right? Am I wrong?
Yes, sir. You hear me? Chima Dunga. Yes, sir.
Chima Dunga. I got it. All right, that's all that matters, sir. How are you, my friends?
I'm doing good. Can't complain.
Love it, man. I love it. Chima is out of Central Missouri, 55 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks this past season. He is I would say, a very talented football player. I'm going to bring on another defensive lineman. I got EJ LeBaze. Is it LeBaze?
LeBaze.
LeBaze. Oh, I was doing so well. Almost got it there. Defensive lineman out of Adams State is coming to you live now. And I'm going to bring out Jake Ballou.
Yes, sir.
Got it. Winona State in the building. Jake, I got the name right, man. I was 2 out of 3 there. I've been doing awful tonight. but we got it there. Jake, for people that don't know, one of the more talented return men in all of college football, regardless of level. Over 15 yards per punt return, over 29 yards kick return. This is in his career, 3 career return touchdowns. And he also had a breakout season with his best receiving totals to date during his career, over 600 yards and 7 touchdowns. So, Jake, I want to start with you, man. Obviously, special teams is a huge selling point at the next level, right? Like, this is the separator for a lot of guys that are to go late day 3 into, UDFA territory. How important is your experience and your your impact that you have on the special team side of the game?
I think it's big time. Being a punt kick returner can definitely change the game. Having that momentum, getting the ball to the 40-yard line plus every time is huge. Obviously, the better field position, the higher your chances are to score. And just having that versatile to, not only play wide receiver, but to be able to, be a punt kick returner as well as do anything else on special teams. Being a gunner, running down on kickoff, I think goes a long way with a lot of people.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I think it's really nice too, Jake, that you obviously had your best season to date as a receiver. Big time, obviously, increase in production, which I think is great. Chima, I want to go over to you, man. Maybe for someone that hasn't seen you play, defensive line wise, what do you feel like is your best role? Are you a 3 tech? Are you going to work in the 1, shade nose, 4-eye? Like what stylistically is your best spot, do you believe?
I like working the 1 in the shade, especially at 0. I like working the 0, because I feel like I'm a 2 gap and nose guard. I'm more dominant at the run game. I feel like I'm stout in the trenches. Once it comes to 2 gap and I'm able to lock out and shed and look for the ball, go play football after that.
Love it, man. I love it. And again, we are live here on Twitter and on YouTube. If you have any questions, you can throw it into the chat. I know we've had a good response. A lot of people in here. EJ, going to go over to you. Same question I just posed to Chima. What do you feel like are your best attributes as a defensive lineman? How would you kind of describe yourself?
Yeah, I feel like, as everybody kind of says, is the versatility and the durability. We preach a lot at Adams State, your best asset is availability. And I've demonstrated being available through an 11-game season at different positions, learning different positions at any given time in the season. My D-line coach, he does great by having all the D-linemen study everything. So in terms of feeling comfortable and playing, I've played anywhere from the 9 to the 0 till I could dominate at any of those positions in there.
And I know, obviously, we just had Ian Friday, who's an Adams State guy. We also had Tariq Bitson is scheduled to come on tonight out of Tarleton. Of course, he was a very high-profile player, to say the least, while he was at Adams State. It's nice, man, to see, obviously, the increase in talent coming through Adams State. Can you just speak to just maybe some of the talent that you guys have? Because you're starting to put out, a couple guys that are NFL potential players.
Yeah, I mean, with Coach Harrison and Coach Ellis and Coach Riley, the whole staff, really, what they're doing out there at Adams State is unbelievable. From coming to basically a school that had little recognition to having the marketing and branding through all social media platforms and getting these guys like me, Bit, and there's so many, Ian, Tyreek, Campbell, Bray. There's so many of us that can play ball, and we're actually making a name for ourselves. I think that we all really focused on that underdog mindset and kind of harnessed it and moved forward. And several of those guys that have been named were captains, including me and Ian. We were captains. So that really speaks a lot to what the coaching staff is doing and the work the players are putting in on and off the field.
I love it. I love it. And I'm going to end you guys with just a round the robin question here. I'm going to start with you, Jake. What are some things, because I know we talked about your special teams, obviously upside, and I'm sure that's something that you really want to highlight when you get down to Fort Worth. So what are some things that when you leave Fort Worth, Texas and the College Gridiron Showcase, what are some things that you want to kind of get across to NFL evaluators about your game?
That I can, make plays at any moment, a guy that's willing to do anything for the team, as well as just like you said, we talked about being versatile, being able to play wide receiver, punt, kick, return, but, it goes further than that with other special teams. Just a fearless guy that's ready to just go out there and ball out, man, loves the grind and just willing to go out there and make plays all the time. And especially with special teams, like I said, change that momentum at any time, which sparks both sides of the ball, all 3 phases. So that's something I'm just getting excited to go down there and ball and just do my thing.
Absolutely, man. You're gonna have a lot of opportunities to show your abilities in space. G-Meg, moving over to you, man. Like, what are a couple things that you want to showcase during your week?
I'm going to Forward, Texas as a business trip. I want everybody to feel my presence. There's a bunch of ballers on the Division II level, and I feel like I'm one of them ballers. And once I dominate each rep, I'm gonna leave my mark, and people will know who Chima Dunga is. Yes, sir.
Love it, man. Love it. And EJ,
That's
ending
about
with
it.
you, man. What are a couple things you want to end? What you want to showcase to evaluators?
Yeah, I want to start with what he said, how he ended off, making sure that everybody there, every single person, player, coach, scout, agent, they know who EJ Labaz is by the time I leave Texas, as well as putting my school and my family and friends, and representing them well.
Yeah, I love it, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys for hopping on. I'm excited to see your performances down in Fort Worth, to say the least. Make sure you come say hi. We'll do a one-on-one interview. We'll get all the things cracking, guys. But appreciate the patience and everything. And I look forward to meeting you guys in a couple of days. Okay.
Yes, sir. Hey, I got one question for you, Ryan.
Yeah, I love it, man. Go for it.
Man, I've been seeing y'all do that little question to end.
Sure.
So what's one spot you got to go? Moe's, Chick-fil-A, or Chipotle, man?
It's Chick-fil-A, man. It's easy money. It's not I'm in the spicy chicken sandwich, even though I'm getting older, so it doesn't agree too much. Getting the waffle fries. Maybe I'll get a milkshake at the end. It's easy money.
I love that.
Easy money, sir. I appreciate the question. That's the first question for me tonight. I appreciate you, EJ. I do, man. All right, fellas. You keep it easy, man. You guys take care.
Yes,
I'll talk to you
sir.
soon, okay?
Appreciate it.
Sure.
All right, fellas.
Be safe, man.
All right, fellas. If we are listening live, we are coming in close to the end. We have so many great names still waiting to get interviewed. If you're waiting behind the scenes, I appreciate the patience. I really do. We got behind a little bit. We are, of course, here sponsored by Frog Fuel. Make sure to check it out today. I don't know if you could tell, but I banged out some push-ups and some sit-ups beforehand. Took the protein patch. I know a guy right here, Mr. Jared Brankman, defensive lineman out of UNI, is a guy that is we had Antoine Frazier on here earlier, Jared, and I had to ask him about the jungle juice, right? Like I had to do it, man. Absolutely had to. Going to also bring on Mr. Ralph Holly, who is one of the more productive defensive linemen in all of college football. I think he had like 16.5 tackles for loss this year, 6 or 7 sacks. Fantastic player for Western Michigan. Going to also bring on our first long snapper of the night if he's out there. We got Dylan Chesterman, who is a long snapper out of New Mexico Highlands, originally out of Hutchinson Community College, if he is out there. Do not see the video, Dylan, if you could pop that on in a second. If not, maybe I can pop you out. Try to pop back in, Dylan, if you can. But while Dylan gets the camera figured out, I'm going to bring one more guy in. Just had a couple Adams State guys on, Devin Hafford. And, of course, I'm saying that because Tariq Bitson, who's a star player, came from Adams State. So I had to kind of throw in that connection a little bit. And Devin Hafford, if you're not kind of up to date on him, 12 interceptions, I believe, in his career. He had 6 this past season, 57 pass deflections. Got to be the highest total, I think, in the game this year. So talented cast I have right here, man, which I'm excited about. Got 2 defensive linemen, though. So I'm going to start here, guys. Jared, you have had the opportunity in your career to face off against some of the best offensive linemen in regardless of any level, right? We're talking about guys like Spencer Brown, who I was a big fan of, who's now starting for the Buffalo Bills. Trevor Penning, who might be a first-round pick. Jackson Scott Brown a couple years ago, who was just a monster. He should be playing professionally somewhere. Yeah. Talk to me about the trench wars for the UNI football team.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. I mean, one thing UNI is known for, it's their, O-lines and D-lines. And over the past couple of years, we've been producing some draft picks and stuff like that. So it's, at practice, we're seeing the best every day. So it's, we're getting that NFL level in our practices and stuff like that. So it's just been awesome to go against and work with every day.
Love it, man. I love it. And Ralph, kind of moving over to you, man. You've been, like I said, one of the more productive players. I've had the opportunity to talk to you, obviously, in the past. A talented football player in your own right. What do you feel like is kind of been your biggest improvement this year, man? Because obviously you have been a very talented football player, productive football player, but the tackle for loss numbers obviously took a huge jump. The sack numbers took a nice jump. What do you feel like was your biggest development as a player this year?
I feel like my biggest development really as a player was just
me adapting to, stopping the run. I used to be really pass heavy and everything, but I tweaked my game so that I'm dangerous in the run game and the pass game, and I feel like I really capitalized off that this year just based off my tackles and TFLs and everything.
Absolutely, man. I was excited to see that jump. And I mean, I just love watching Western Michigan in general. We're supposed to have AJ Thomas. I don't believe that he's coming anymore, but Caleb Ellaby is a guy that I've been a big fan of, obviously, on the offensive side of the football. Devin, I want to come to you, man, because you're a guy that I think is going to do really well in this event because you have experience playing outside corner, a little bit inside at safety. I think that you're a matchup dictator type of player. What is some things that you feel like you want to showcase most down in Fort Worth, Texas?
Just my versatility, showing scouts that I can play any position in the secondary, really any position on the defense side of the ball besides the lineman, I guess. I showcase myself playing linebacker, corner, free safety, strong safety, nickel, even sometimes rushing off the edge as a D lineman, I guess you should say. Just showcasing my versatility at the CGS next week.
Love it, man. And I want to go around the horn here. I'm going to start with Ralph this time. Who are some players that you think like you model your game after? I have a couple, a little bit of undersized, shorter defensive linemen. So I'm sure Aaron Donald's going to get thrown out there, Ralph. But like, who are a couple of guys that are like your dudes?
Off rip, like you said, Aaron Donald. He's a smaller D tackle, but still the most productive in the league. So Aaron Donald off rip, but I say also just the way that Ndamukong Suh plays. I'm not as big as him, but the way he attacks his pass rush and the way he gets off the ball is something that I really am keen on and that I've studied this game a lot. So, and another one that I really do say my game models is probably Fletcher Cox, just the way he's so dominant at the line and uses his hands. He uses his hands more than he uses just his whole body. So that's a couple of players.
Love it, man. Love it. Especially Ndamukong Suh played with Aaron Donald for that year too, and that was just like
that was crazy.
Jared, same question to you, man. Who are a couple of your guys?
Definitely like Sue, Donald. I love watching Villa. Just the guys that are getting penetration every play and being disruptive back there, and have an impact on every play. So just try to watch them and see some things they do and apply it to my game.
Love it. And moving down to Devin Hafford. Devin, who's a couple of your guys?
I have to go with Kenny Moore for the Indianapolis coach. Just how they utilize him, moving him everywhere in the secondary. Next, I'll probably say Buda Baker. Just how he plays the middle of the field safety. I try to model my game after him. With his physicality and him just rushing a passer as a rusher as well.
Love it. And I'm going to go one more question for you guys, a little more of a silly one. We had Mike Riddleman, of course, who's director of scouting over here for the game on a little bit ago. And he was, he wanted to pose this question. So I'm going to pose it for him. We're going down to Texas, obviously known for their barbecue. So give me what is maybe your favorite barbecue dish or something that you're looking forward down in Texas. So I'll start with Devin since he's a Texas guy already, right, Dev? What's the best barbecue, man?
The best barbecue dish, I'd probably say chopped brisket sandwich.
I accept that. I accept it. You have slaw in there or anything, or just the brisket?
Oh no, I don't mess with slaw. I put mayonnaise on there, but I mean you can put whatever you desire on your sandwich. But I mean, the chopped brisket is definitely a go-to.
Love it. Going up to Jared, and I'm going to end with Ralph. Jared, what's the best barbecue?
Yeah, can't go wrong with rack of ribs or some brisket, burn ends. So, whatever they got, I'm sure it's going to be good.
Burn ends is what you're talking about there, man. I want the burn ends. I want I want some of that. What's it called? The deep fried cornbread. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I can't think of it right now. Mac and cheese, as long as it's got the breadcrumb on top. That's my dig. Ralph, last one, man. I need a good answer here. Need a good answer. Need it.
I would say I don't know if this count as barbecue, but I love me personally, I love chitlins. So, and hey, I love me some chitlins, but I also love you can't go wrong with the barbecue chicken on the ribs. So,
I'll accept it, Ralph. Just for you, I'll
yeah,
accept that one, man. I'll accept
yeah.
it. I think you're stretching that line a little bit with the chitlins, but like, I'll let you have it, man. I'll let you have it. All right,
Yeah.
fellas. So again, Jared Brinkman, Ralph Holly, Devin Hafford. Appreciate you guys for being patient behind the scenes. Thank you all so much. I'll be seeing you guys down in a couple of days, okay?
So,
All
good
right,
seeing you.
fellas. Thank you, man.
All right, now.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
guys. All right, everybody out there in the Twitterverse or YouTube lands, have a couple more guys that we're going to get through. Appreciate everybody behind the scenes that has been staying patient with me. We got started a little late, and we are kind of making our rounds here. Bringing on a couple guys that I've actually talked to before, which is always a lot of fun to kind of catch up. Bringing on Mr. Drew Plitt, quarterback out of Ball State, highly accoladed quarterback, 3-year starter. I believe this is Tariq Bitson coming on here from Tarleton State. We're going to bring on Dylan Chesterman, long snapper. I tried to get him on. The camera is good now, Dylan. Awesome, man. Appreciate you so much for being patient. And we got Darius Casey also coming on, defensive back out of St. Augustine. So, Drew, I'm going to start with you, man, since I've talked to you in the past. Obviously, it's been a couple years. I talked to you, I believe, after you were coming off of your 24-7. What was that? Was that your junior year, sophomore year? I don't even remember what year it was at this point, man. But
yeah, I've been here for so long. It's been a while.
man, that COVID year has just thrown me off so much. Like, I'm still trying to figure out what's right and left. But obviously, excited to get you into the game, man. You finished off your career. I feel like, you just super consistent all the way through. You were a guy that in the scouting meetings, I really pounded the table for, because I feel like you're just consistency and just the ability that you have from the neck up, and obviously the talent that you have, I think, is a lot of good qualities. So I want to start you off just by asking, because quarterback can be a little bit of a different evaluation to a degree, because like obviously people want to see you throw the football. They want to see, obviously the footwork and ability to win outside of structure, all that good stuff, but also the mental side of everything. How excited are you not only to showcase your physical abilities, but also to be able to sit down with evaluators and show what student of a game you are?
Yeah, I think that's one thing that is kind of underestimated for me and for any quarterback. You don't really get to see that all the time when you're on the field. You see just mostly the talent side, not as much the preparation. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to come down there and showcase that to all the scouts and everybody, all the NFL teams, so they can see truly how my preparation works and the mental side of my game.
Love it, man. I love it. And Dylan, I know we had a little bit of technical with your camera, but appreciate you for being diligent with it, man. You are the only long snapper we've had on the show tonight, man. So I'm really excited about that. And I know, Dylan, it's a little bit of a different bag. Obviously, you're out of New Mexico Highlands and originally a Hutchinson Community College guy. And it's a little bit of a different valuation because, obviously I'm not I want to see a good frame on a long snapper, obviously. And I want to see what type of linear athlete he is, but like 40 times and some of that stuff are a little, who really cares? Honestly, I just want to see how you can cover a kick. But what are some things going down to Fort Worth that you feel like is paramount for you to show to evaluators?
My accuracy, my professionalism, and my consistency with my snaps, I think, is probably the best attributes I got. And my athleticism and ability to get down the field and make a play also.
Love it, man.
And thanks again for being patient with me too, sir. My camera logged out.
Oh, no, man. No. Hey, there's been glitches all night. It's what's going to happen. Obviously, we're in the virtual world. I know COVID is running rampant here in New Jersey where I am again. So a lot of things are going to be virtual for the foreseeable future. So is what it is. No big deal at all. Dylan, I want to ask, man, just a little bit about your preparation for the event, because I know I'll also long snapping. It's a very, I feel like it's a very, I don't know what the word is. Like a lot of guys work with like the same coaches in the off season, do all that type of stuff. Who is your personal coach outside of like the season? Do you have a guy that you work with in the off season?
I don't. It's me, myself, and I got a 5-gallon bucket taped to a dumpster, and I try to get sets of 3 in. I only got 3 footballs right now to work with, so I've been just snapping into that and working on my accuracy, my speed. I'm a personal trainer too, so I've been doing that, working my butt off in that sense as well. So I've never been traditionally trained, but I definitely feel I have the talent to go to the next level.
I love it, man. That's an awesome story, Dylan. We'll have to down in Fort Worth. We'll have to sit down for a one-on-one because that's fascinating. Because that's a very different kind of journey that people take. So that's awesome, man. Want to go to now a man that I've talked to him before in the past. Again, Mr. Tariq Bitson was a star at Adams State, did a phenomenal job his last couple of seasons there at Tarleton. Tariq, how's it been, man? All good?
It's been great, man. It's definitely been a journey, but it's been great.
Love it, man. I love it. And obviously, you're one of the guys that Drew might be throwing to during the event. So I want to hear just a little bit about what you're excited to show down in Fort Worth. Obviously, I think that you're a long, athletic pass catcher that can do a little bit of everything. But what are you excited about showing down there?
Just like you said, I think I'm real versatile in the passing game. I think I can I primarily tend to be on the outside, but just to be able to show that I can run any route in the route tree and being able to also line up in the slot as well and run routes from the slot. So just being able to just show how versatile I am in my game from just running deep routes.
Awesome. And Darius, moving over to you, man. I want to hear what type of player you are. Like, give me kind of the snapshot. What is Darius Casey as a football player? Describe yourself a little bit for the crowd.
I would say Darius is a pro. I know everybody's big, fast, and strong, but I understand that at this level, it's a mental game. So with that being said, I want to just be able to show people, the scouts and, even players too, that, consistency. It's great to be able to be versatile. We're all versatile, but, being able to be consistent and show consistent flow, be out there as well, not getting a play call, but being stuck on the last play and just being able to understand that it's just a mental game, So I think in a nutshell, Darius Casey is just a pro. I think I'm just all around pro.
Love it. Love it. And guys, we've been kind of posing for most of the people tonight, just kind of a fun question. So Drew, I want to start with you. I'm interested in this one because I know you're a northern guy, kind of like I am a little bit. So there's some, it's tough to find some good barbecue at times, man, but we're going down to Texas, barbecue capital of the country, right? So what would you say is your favorite barbecue dish? I put out there into the universe, just so you know, hush puppies, which deep fried cornbread for anybody that's out there, right? We've got the baked mac and cheese, got to hit the breadcrumb on top, and then I'm a pulled chicken type of guy. What's on Drew Plitt's plate?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to go with the ribs. We got Montgomery in here in Cincinnati, where I'm from, so just had that yesterday. Can never go wrong with a rack of ribs, and really any barbecue is great, but I got to go with the ribs.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Tariq, we are down there in Texas, right? So you already kind of have some experience with some barbecue, man. What's on Tariq Bitson's plate?
That's a tough one. I think everybody so far has been doing ribs, but I would say maybe barbecue bologna. I think that's a good one.
I have never heard of this before. That's an interesting one. I guess I gotta check it out when I get down to Fort Worth, man. Interesting one. I like that. Dylan, what's on your plate, sir?
Brisket and hot wings.
Hot wings. Okay. Love it, man. Love it. You can't go wrong with some hot wings. Last but not least, Darius, what's on your plate, sir?
Well, I'm from Maryland, so we eat seafood a lot. So
you got that crab, right? Crab
cakes.
Yeah,
a lot of crab. Yeah. So I'm just eager to I'm just taking it all in. So whatever people say, they're recommending, then I'm just gonna take it all in.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna start back with you, Darius. I'm gonna work around that way, and then we're gonna end it there. Who are some of your favorite players? Guys that maybe stylistically you're similar to, or guys that you just grew up watching or still watch today? Who are a couple of your guys, Darius?
I'm 5'9", 200 pounds. So I watch people that, have similar playing styles and body styles as I do. So I say Quandre Diggs from the Seattle Seahawks. He plays great in the middle of the field. Buda Baker, he does a lot of moving around from the nickel to the free to the strong. Kenny Moore, because he came from a Division II school. He also went undrafted. So, just guys like that. And even I like Isaiah Simmons, even though we aren't similar. I like Isaiah Simmons a lot. Just not even just because he's versatile. I actually have a best friend that plays for the Arizona Cardinals. His name is Ezekiel Turner. So we train together in the off season. So I like Isaiah because he's young, but he doesn't back down, from anything. You can, even if without knowing him personally, you can watch. If you watch enough football, you be able to see, He's just a ball player.
Absolutely, man. Those guys can do anything on the football field. It's
For
not
sure.
just physical traits either. It's like they're just their IQ. You know what I mean?
For
Like
sure.
they understand how to affect the game. Dylan, I'm going to go to you, man. I'm interested on this one. Obviously, the long snapper background. I'm curious if maybe a Luke Rhodes is going to pop into the conversation here or not.
Luke Rhodes for the Indianapolis Colts. He's a long snapper for them, and I think he is a hardworking. I follow him on Instagram a lot. He does a lot of different workouts and stuff like that. Hardworking for a long snapper, extremely athletic. I like to base my play around him.
I love that one, man. I love that one. One of my first evaluations I ever did was Luke Rhodes when he was playing linebacker coming out of William & Mary. So I like that one a lot. Tariq, going to you, man. Who's one of your guys? Some of your guys.
Well, I definitely watch DeAndre Hopkins. I definitely like the way he wins his one-on-one matchup when it comes to the 50-50 ball. I also like, far as another good receiver, I like, can't go wrong with your boy out of Green Bay, Devontae Adams. That's another one as far as I think release him, or Keenan Allen as far as releases off the line. And I also like, I would say probably the one that people probably don't pay much attention to, but I would definitely have a down at Seattle, Tyler Lockett. I like how Tyler Lockett is very. He definitely runs the deep ball, but he also runs different routes, and it is always open for Russell Wilson, and they have that a great connection. Another receiver I think people don't really pay much attention to.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a couple good ones. And you with Drew. Drew, who's your guy?
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple guys. Love watching Tom Brady play all the time. I mean, he's just doing what he's doing at his age is incredible to see. And then got to go with my guy Joe Burrow down in Cincinnati. Coming back, putting on for the city, doing his thing. So love watching the Bengals now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Drew's been on Joe Burrow's been on quite a little rip here the last couple of weeks too, man. It's been a lot of fun to watch. What's it, like 1,000 yards and
close to 1,000
touchdowns?
yards and 12 touchdowns or something crazy like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Well, fellas, appreciate you all so much for taking the time. I will be seeing you down in Fort Worth in a couple of days, man. Safe travels, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely, fellas. Talk to you guys soon. All right, we are nearing the ends. I believe I only have one player left waiting here. I think we got Drew Robinson, linebacker out of Texas Southern. If he is popping in now. Drew, if you can hear me. Oh, there you are. What's up, brother? Linebacker out of Texas Southern, Mr. Drew Robinson. Drew, how are you, bro?
I'm good. How are you? I'm sorry I'm kind of close to the phone. I don't know why. I barely can even hear you, but.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. I've been trying to turn on my phone this whole time.
Okay. Well, I just turned my volume up. Hopefully it's a little better now, hopefully. But appreciate you for just popping in with us, man. Obviously, it's a big opportunity now in a couple days heading down to Fort Worth. I guess my biggest question for you is just what are some things that you want to prove to evaluators when you finally get down there?
I mean, from the beginning of time, bro, I feel like the biggest thing that I've proven is just to my family and also to myself that, I still got it, that, I have a big chip on my shoulder because I've been counted out too many times. So, I'm just very hungry to just prove everybody wrong. I got too much just energy just to go. I'm ready.
I love it, man. I love it. And I think that you are in a great opportunity to show your abilities, both working in pursuit, the speed that you have, and then working in space a little bit, I think is going to really show out, Drew. And can you just kind of tell the viewers who maybe haven't seen you play yet at Texas Southern and working into CGS and hopefully into an NFL opportunity, what type of football player are you?
I'm a very IQ-oriented film junkie and more hard-hitting. I feel like I can do it all. I mean, outside, inside, nickel, don't matter. I mean, no one's seen me yet, so that's why I'm just excited to, just give that out most of all. I'm very excited, about to have some fun, bring the energy. That's all I'm about, really.
Yeah. And that stuff goes a long way, man. Like they don't talk about that enough, but like you see the energy guys during those drills, right? The guys that are leading by example, a lot of fun there. Drew, I want to ask you two more questions. I know you're already a Texas guy. We've been asking kind of the fun question all night. what is the premier barbecue dish in your opinion?
Yeah, they could do what is it, like brisket sandwiches or like pulled pork, you know what I'm saying?
I love it, man. I love it. And I guess my last thing for you, Drew, and I appreciate the time so much. Biggest question, I guess, is obviously I'm sure this has been a dream for you for a long time to potentially play in the NFL. Just how long has that been a dream, and what's this blessing going to be like if it becomes a reality for you?
Man, people just don't know like what I had to go through, just personally, mentally, physically, you know, having to do different stuff just to even to get myself to play outside of football. You know, it wasn't just me showing up. You know, I had to work my way up to playing. You know, and there was lots of adversity, not just
Sorry, Drew. I think it just went out, man. But I really wanted to end this by wishing you luck as we make it down to Fort Worth. I look forward to meeting you in a couple days, man. Thank you so much for your time. And we're going to conclude the interviews for tonight. If anybody is wondering if somebody did not get the ability to get on, there is just, sometimes the technical issues work. We were behind schedule a little bit at some points. But want to thank everybody for tuning in. We'll be down at the College Ground Showcase here in just a couple of days. This is Ryan Roberts here, Rise and Draft on Twitter, representing the College Gridiron Showcase, sponsored and powered by Frog Fuel. If anybody has not gotten into the interview, we will be down in Texas, and you make sure to find me, one-on-one interview, and we'll get the story out to the world. Thank you all for listening. Talk to you again all very soon. Look forward to catching you all down in Fort